welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Off the Ropes with John and Josh. I am Josh.
I'm the crazy motherfucker they call John.
It's true, and we are back with episode 27 of Off the Ropes, and today we'll be talking about WrestleMania.
WrestleMania!
Yes, WrestleMania 37, the two-night event that took place, and it's had a lot of good stuff and some not-so-great stuff, but overall, we'll see how it turned out. So, John, how are you? It's been a while. It's been a minute, as the kids say.
As the kids would say these days, it has been a hot minute. I really can't complain. I'm a little glad that it's WrestleMania season. As everybody knows, this is where we kicked off last year, bringing the podcast back. Well, bringing the podcast forth, bringing the show back. So, we've been back for a year at this point. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. WrestleMania. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm glad that I got a chance to watch all this. I did not watch everything from WrestleMania week because there was a lot.
There was so much.
Like, so much. You got a 3-hour Raw, a 3-hour Hall of Fame ceremony, a 2-night NXT takeover. At least 2 hours a night. I didn't get around to watching it, to be honest with you. Then you had SmackDown, and then 2 nights of WrestleMania. It's just so much stuff. It's crazy.
I didn't watch the Hall of Fame ceremony completely. I went and found the ones that I really, really wanted to see, and that did it for me. I was happy.
Nice.
Major one I really wanted to see the induction for was the NWO, and that was a good induction speech.
Nice. Very cool. All right. So, I say we jump into to a little bit of news before we start our WrestleMania talk. And you know what that means, John? You know what that means? It's breaking kayfabe. That's right.
I didn't want to jump in too soon. I knew what was coming. They knew what was coming. It's breaking kayfabe.
Ah, yes. All right. So the big story from this past week.
Woo!
Literally 2 days ago from the point that we are recording this, what I am calling Black Thursday, as they called it Black Wednesday last year.
They did indeed.
A whole bunch of people got released again on April 15th, just like they did last year. I think there was 13 people on April 15th last year. And it wound up being 10. There was one more after the big sweep. Another one got released. So I'm going to kind of go over the list of all 10 that got dumped this past Thursday, and we'll kind of give our thoughts. All right, so we got Billie Kay, Mickie James, Chelsea Green, Tucker, Wesley Blake, Peyton Royce, Kalisto, Bo Dallas, Samoa Joe, and the one that I just found out about as I was looking this up, Mojo Rawley.
Yeah, he got added later on in the day.
Yeah. So, John, what are your thoughts on all these releases? Any of them stick out to you as hitting hard more so than the others?
None of them are really hitting me hard. I'm a little disappointed in the WWE that
I'm bummed that the Iconics are gone. I didn't like them at first when they were a team. But I came around to them as solo competitors.
But I'm gonna vent for a second, and not in the way I usually would. I'm really pissed off at the WWE because 2 of the people they released are still technically on the injured list. How the fuck are you gonna fire people who got hurt working for your fucking company and are sitting there waiting for the chance to get cleared to come back, and then you're gonna fucking fire them?
Yeah.
It's just fucking stupid. It's like,
it's not the first time they've done that, but yeah.
No, I know. I feel really bad for Samoa Joe. I don't like the guy at all, but I feel like he should have at least been WWE champion once.
Yeah, well.
Really sad that the Iconics are gone, though. I really like them as a tag team.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I was never a fan of them before, but then once they became they got split up, I really came around to Peyton Royce, and I gotta say, I really loved what they were doing with Billie Kay.
Oh yeah,
I thought she was hilarious, And seeing her at WrestleMania working alongside Carmella, I was like, yo, like she did really well, and she worked really well with Carmella. What, like, and then bleh,
Yep.
4 days later, 5 days later, she's just out. Same with Samoa Joe. He was there doing commentary. And then
during a thunderstorm.
Yep. And just out, gone. It's crazy to me. I'm sure many of these people will, wind up other places.
Well,
I kind of want the Iconics to go to AEW because AEW is really good with all their tag teams, even their women.
True.
I won't be shocked if Chelsea Green goes back to Impact. So,
while we're talking about the Black Thursday, as you're going to call it, can we talk about how this has sparked people to bring up the fact that people like Velveteen Dream and a few of the other people who have been accused of other allegations are still employed by WWE?
Yep. And still getting like full backing, like no matter what. Like
the big two right now that are being focused on is Velveteen Dream and Jackson Riker. Jackson Riker recently got brought back on television as
he was at Mania.
Yes, yeah, he's with Elias.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. He's the one who went on the racist tweet and posted a whole bunch of like racist shit on Twitter. And WWE's like, oh, we'll repackage the other two, and this one here will just kind of sit off to the side. And then they brought him back on TV, and people are like, well, how come he still has a job and you're firing all these other people? Yeah. Why is WWE still protecting people like Velveteen Dream? And there was a couple of other people, but I can't remember their names to save my life.
Yeah.
But they're like, you're firing all these fucking people, but people like Velveteen Dream, who now hasn't been seen now for like 4 months again, is still protected.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to get into that side of it, but I am going to say that I think it's bullshit that, like, all these people get fired and there's no rhyme or reasons for some of it. Yeah. Like you said, Billy Kay and Samoa Joe, both at WrestleMania.
Apparently, people backstage didn't quite get Billy Kay. That's what I had heard, and I'm just like, what do you not get? She's doing some great work.
I mean, she's doing what she's being given direction to do.
Yeah.
I mean, what other fucking shit do you need to get?
Every time she did the whole resume thing, dude, it got me every time. I was laughing all the time.
The first couple times I was a little taken back by it. I was like, but then like about the third or fourth time she came out and she's like, here's my headshot resume. I'm like, okay.
What pay-per-view was it that she was doing it like in between every match, or no, it was that was it the Rumble? Was it the Rumble where she did it like in between every person who came out for like 6 people? Yeah. See, that was hilarious.
One of the things that I thought was really funny about this list of people being released, though, was that Bo Dallas is on this list of people. Yeah. There's a lot of speculation going around that he was the Fiend at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And for people who watched WrestleMania, they must not have paid attention at WrestleMania, because there's a couple clear points where Bray speaks and you can see visible tattoos at a couple points.
Yeah.
Clearly, Bo Dallas does not have the same amount of tattoos as his brother.
They're also not the same size.
No, they're definitely not the same size. And I'm sorry. At first, I was like, well, maybe they did something and it's the reason why people are thinking it. But you clearly see Bray come up out of the box. He jumps into the ring. There's no way they would have switched out the two people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's just, that would have been, what would have been the point?
But at the same time that I feel bad that Bo Dallas got cut from the WWE, I found something out the other day that makes me not feel so bad for the dude.
Okay.
Do you know who he is currently hooking up with?
No.
Liv Morgan.
Oh, wow.
I don't feel bad for him anymore. I'm like, man, you lost your job. You have more time to bang on Liv Morgan. Good for you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and we were talking about this, I think either earlier today or yesterday, about the people wanting him to start a gimmick called The Friend.
Yes.
and kind of spoof his brother.
Spoof his brother.
I mean, I don't know if any place would do it, but it would be hilarious, and I think he would be perfect to do it. You know what I mean? That kind of like because like the whole Bo Leave gimmick was so goofy that I think he could pull off a spoof gimmick of the Fiend as the friend.
I really liked the Bo Leave gimmick though. And like me and you were talking about earlier, like you said, I would like to personally see him rip off his brother's the cult leader side of the gimmick.
Yeah.
But
now, would you want it to be like serious like that, or would you want it to be a spoof?
No, I want it to be the spoof.
Okay.
But that's where I was gonna say. They need to use the Bo Leave gimmick and make that be his cult leader thing, and people start like he comes in and he's like, look, like perfect person that comes to mind would have been, you remember when Kurt Hawkins was on that massive losing streak? Imagine he walks up to Kurt Hawkins as this cult leader, and like instead of doing like the Bayou thing like his brother did, he does like the televangelist thing where he's like nicely dressed in his suit. He's got a book that's called like Believe in Yourself or something. And he walks up to someone and he's like, look, you're losing. You need a change. You need to believe in yourself. And the person's like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, look, for an easy payment of $29.99, 6 easy payments, you too can believe in yourself. And like he starts preaching this bullshit at people, but it turns their attitude around and they start winning. And then he becomes like $1 million man / preacher dude. And
I kind of dig that, man. Yeah, I like that.
But at the same time, it's fucking cheesy because he's like, do I even have a book sitting next to me? You know, you could buy this book today, Believe in Yourself, for $29.99. But I mean, at 6 payments of $29.99, not just one payment. That would be too cheap to believe in yourself. But ladies and gentlemen, with this book, you can turn your life around and you can believe straight to the top.
I like it. You know what? I'd be down with either of those things.
Either, man.
So I mean, he's got potential, and I look forward to whatever he does next. I look forward to what a lot of these people do next. Be honest with you.
I agree.
All right, so I have one other story that I put in here specifically for John because I thought he would get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
And this story is a little bit older. It's a couple of weeks old, but I saw it.
People, this is what happens when Josh gets bored and finds news stories. He doesn't tell me ahead of time some of these news stories just to purposely get a rise out of me.
It's true. All right, John, are you ready? Because somebody returned, and it's a big one.
Oh, boy.
Trent's mom. That's right. Trent's mom, Sue, returned to Dynamite like 2.5 weeks ago.
I already knew that. I was watching.
I don't care that you knew it. I want to get your thoughts on Trent's mom.
Oh, my God, dude. I was so happy. He came back to save the best friends in their match with Kip Sapien and
No, I don't care about Trent. I want to know your thoughts on Trent's mom. Oh, you really
want to know about Trent's mom, Sue? I mean, when she pulled up, I was like, it's Trent's mom. And then Trent got out, and I was like, oh, it's Trent. I mean, I guess I should have figured. I mean,
now we know where Trent was.
He was injured.
I know. Where's Trent?
Where's Trent?
Oh, man. But yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that one just because.
I do get
just because it's Trent's mom. That's all.
And all right. Again.
There you go. All right, folks. You know what that means.
Those are the 2 awesome stories for breaking kayfabe.
That's right. So we're going to switch back.
2-day spectacle that was WrestleMania.
Now,
I don't know how many people we've told about this, but WrestleMania is the time of year that Josh and I we love to watch wrestling because it's when all the storylines, like, they're either starting or ending. Because, you know, you either start a feud at WrestleMania or you bury a feud at WrestleMania. And we saw that this year in a couple of our matches.
Oh, yeah.
There was some good wrestling. There was some bad wrestling. There was some horrific shit that happened. There was some funny shit that happened.
True. And
So
some surprising things that happened, I think.
So let's go right into WrestleMania night one.
Night one.
Now,
actually, before we hop into actual night one, we talked about this before we started recording. We talked a bit about how they kind of bungled the kickoff shows. They were essentially, there was nothing on them. It was just all them talking. And how they did the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown the night before. And I said it to you before, and I'm going to say it here on air. I think it was a mistake to not have it during the pre-show.
I agree.
Like, since it started, it's been part of WrestleMania. Not part of WrestleMania week, but part of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the pre-show a couple times, but even then it was still attached to Mania at least.
And there are plenty of people who don't watch the weekly product.
I don't watch the weekly product.
Just watch the pay-per-views. I didn't watch SmackDown, but I watched the kickoff show, and if it had been on the kickoff show, I would have seen the Battle Royal.
Yep.
So that didn't happen, but Jey Uso did pick up the win this year.
I mean, does that really even shock you?
There's that. And I think if they had done it on either night one or night two, I think it would have actually been better, because like you would have seen Jey in action. He would have gotten that pop from the WrestleMania crowd, and then going in, he would have had that going into helping Roman in his match.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It just it seemed real short-sighted to not put it actually on one of the nights, especially since they had two nights, for crying out loud. Come on. But yeah, anyways, I got that out of the way. Night one, let's talk about this 40-minute delay.
Well, before we even get into that, I want to get into the entirety of this, because I was a little annoyed this year with a little bit of some stuff.
Okay.
So the opening hype package is always one of the big things that always welcomes me into Mania. It's not the pre-show, but it's not the opening segment either. It's not the opening match. It's everything that you need to know about Mania. And they made it a joke this year with the bantering back and forth between the two commentators, like the two narrators.
Oh, yeah, that part.
It took me out of the whole hype package, because I'm like, well, I don't want to hear them fucking bicker. Like, I don't fucking care about them. I want to know about what's going on at Mania this year. I want to know that this is the biggest fucking spectacle in wrestling, and I want to know why I should be fucking investing 2 days into this shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever. So I ended up fast forwarding through that just to get to Vince McMahon standing there, welcome all the fans that were there, 25,000 fans, who got to actually be at WrestleMania. And it was a good moment. There was all the talent out on the stage. You got to see everybody, and BB Rex.
Yeah, it was BB Rexa.
She did the America the Beautiful, and it was just a great opening moment.
Dude, as she's singing this, you know how they were panning back, through the wrestlers, on the stage. There were a couple of points where they pan over to Otis, and he's like doing a little dance. He's like kind of shaking himself. I thought it was hilarious.
There is one thing though that really pissed me off about that opening segment.
What?
Sami Zayn never took his fucking hat off.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now I know it's not the national anthem, but fucking a little bit of respect.
I mean, okay.
What, I'm not. I'll
be honest, I didn't notice.
But I still think a little respect.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Are you supposed with that specific song? Are you supposed to put your hand over your heart? Because almost nobody did that.
No, I noticed a couple of people did though.
Yeah,
I also noticed that Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley were both crying. The emotion of WrestleMania probably just overwhelming.
I'll be honest, I didn't see Nikki Cross. I saw Rhea Ripley, and I saw that she was getting emotional though.
Nikki Cross was standing to the far left. They panned by her a couple of times.
Okay. I mean, I thought that I liked BB Rexa. I liked I'd never heard of her before.
Neither had I.
I thought it sounded good. She looked good. And okay, so going back a little bit, Vince's speech. Every time he said the word, every time he said WWE, I swear I thought he said WB. Like, I don't know if his old age is making him slur, but I swear it sounded like every time he said it, I thought he said WB. Like, I had to so much so that I put it in the notes.
Fair enough.
That's how much that I noticed it.
So
I had one side note that I wanted to say because it's stuff that happens throughout the whole show, and I figured I'll just mention it like at the top.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the majority of those WWE themed commercials that they did throughout. Specifically the Kofi Kingston one for Cricket Wireless. Yeah, and then the Old Spice one in the locker room.
I'm trying to figure out who the fuck the Night Panther is.
Isn't it Gulak?
No, is it?
No, I thought somebody called him Drew at one point.
I don't know. Maybe
I assumed it was him. I'd have to. I'm not honestly sure.
I'm Google searching it now.
Because the reason I think that is because they did one of the first ones they did was like about the 24/7 title, and it essentially made the 24/7 title out to be like a joke. And Drew Gulak was one of those guys who was in the mix for that title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I part of me assumes that it was him. So I don't know, but no matter who it is, I liked, like I said, I liked the one in the locker room where he's like just the trash in the locker room. I don't know. I thought it was funny, and that Kofi Kingston one with the pancakes, I really dug that one. Were there any that stuck out to you?
The only one that really stuck out to me was that R-Truth one a few times, but
okay.
No, it's definitely not Gulak, but Rick Bugs.
Rick Bugs. I don't know who that is. Is he a wrestler or is he just like an actor?
I'm assuming he's a wrestler, but I don't know who he is.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's talk about the opening contest.
Yes.
The opening contest that was scheduled for one fall, and it was Drew McIntyre's reward for carrying the WWE through the age of the Thunderdome. Because, the greatest pat on the back is, I guess he wanted it, though. I guess he really wanted the opening match at WrestleMania, so it was his way of saying thank you to the fans. He wanted to be the first one out there so the fans could see him.
Okay. I mean, I get that. I'm tired of the WWE Championship being relegated to the opening match.
No, and I mean, I get that. But
because
at least
most of the time, those matches are not good pace setter matches.
I completely agree. And this match was definitely not a good pace setter.
Yeah.
I'll get into that. But yeah, apparently this was McIntyre asking for this one, though.
Okay, I guess I can let it slide.
So this is the opening contest is the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley coming out with MVP. Now, I don't want to get into the backstory of how this match happens. Everybody knows how this match happened. We all know Bobby Lashley beat The Miz, and Drew McIntyre gets the rematch, but not The Miz, because who fucking understands that shit?
Well, I mean, it is. It's Drew McIntyre. You know that the whole reason that they did it was because they just wanted to get rid of the briefcase.
Yes.
They're like, okay, Miz, you can have your spot in your 15 minutes of fame essentially, but then we're getting rid of that so we don't have to deal with it anymore.
Pretty much.
That's really it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of notes for this match besides the fact that this is two powerhouses, legitimately. Two strongest guys in the well, I can't say Drew's one of the strongest guys in WWE, but he's definitely a hard hitter.
He is, man.
And this match,
he's big.
And he's big
because he makes Lashley look kind of small.
A little bit, yeah.
I noticed that in this match. I was like, Lashley is usually like he usually looks like the biggest dude in the ring. And when he's in there with McIntyre, no, he does not. He looks like a normal dude.
He does. Now, this match was definitely hard hitting. I will give it that, but it was way slower than it should have been.
Yes.
And not necessarily in a bad way. Like, I'm not saying that it was a slow match. Oh, it was a horrible match, but it was not what I was expecting for an opening match at WrestleMania.
There were some funny spots in it.
Oh, yeah. No, there were definitely some.
Particularly Drew McIntyre doing a kip up and then saying, "Bring it, bitch." I thought that was hilarious.
I couldn't believe that. Like, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that was great. You talk about hard hitting. Lashley taking 3 Future Shock DDTs and still kicking out.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, holy shit.
There was definitely a couple points in this match where I was like, wow. I'm like, both men at this point are like, they took beatings. Lashley gave it to McIntyre. McIntyre gave it back. Like, I was like, fuck. Like, okay, yeah. Like, at some point, somebody has to win this, though, guys. Like,
yeah.
However, I really liked the finish. I know a lot of people hated it.
Really?
But
I was not the biggest fan of the finish.
I thought that it worked for the matter that you had to somehow have Bobby Lashley. We all knew Lashley was going to retain.
Yeah.
You had to have him beat Drew in some way that didn't make Drew look weak, but at the same time made Lashley look strong enough. And it was either going to be an interference run or it was going to be something that nobody saw coming. And they went with this something nobody saw coming. And they had Drew McIntyre pass out in the Hurt Lock.
It just felt anticlimactic to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I thought was weird is that there was the point where Drew McIntyre went for the Claymore and MVP's like, hey! And he's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Wait.
Why did that distract you, guy? Like, why do you like?
And that's what I'm saying. There's 25,000 people in the arena for once, and they're not distracting you. But the one person at ringside goes, hey, and you panic like a fucking little girl with a spider on her. And that's why you lost the match, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, that wasn't the cleanest storytelling right there. I'm just gonna say
no, but I mean, I get where the intention was supposed to go, but yeah, they fucked that up royally.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, have MVP get up on ringside.
Yeah,
like try to get up on ringside. That would then distract. I feel like that would be a legitimate distraction.
His pain in the ring.
Yeah, something. Like don't hit him, just throw it like near McIntyre. McIntyre would look because something's getting thrown at him.
Oh yeah,
and then he'd go for it, and it would go the same way. That would have been way better. Yeah. Simple thing to change, and it would have made it way more believable, and I wouldn't have complained as much.
Completely.
Yeah. So, all right. So, as we already said, Bobby Lashley retains that title. Apparently, on Raw, McIntyre wanted his rematch.
Yep.
And so, Adam Pearce, so Braun Strowman and somebody else apparently came on. I can't remember who it was, and demanded that they be part of this match. And so Adam Pearce made a triple threat, and the winner gets Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania Backlash, and Drew McIntyre won.
Yeah, I heard.
So, and yes, when I say WrestleMania Backlash, apparently that's what it's called now.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
It's not just called Backlash. I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, so that match is happening at that event.
It is indeed.
As far as I know, that's the only one that they've confirmed. There might be another one. I don't know, but.
So then the second match of the night, ladies and gentlemen, sees the tag team turmoil match, which was going to be a match essentially to crown number one contenders for Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax on night 2.
Yeah. Real quick. You did forget about the backstage NWO Titus with Bayley.
Oh, Dude, yes, I did forget that, and that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So NWO and Titus O'Neil is standing backstage shooting the shit, and Bayley pops in with her little ding dong. Who's there?
I'll be honest, every time she did the ding dong thing, it made me laugh.
Dude, it's funny but annoying at the same time.
And I noticed something every single time she came out throughout both nights, completely different pair of glasses.
Yes.
And I was like, because when she came out here, she had like the weirdest looking glasses. They were like, she had like wiggly stuff coming off the side. I'm like, what the fuck is she wearing? And so like I instantly paid attention to her glasses because of that. And it changed every single time. I thought it was great.
My favorite interaction from this entire moment is Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash is like, yeah. Okay, I'll give you no.
Yep.
However, I thought it was really funny that Sean Waltman's like, look, don't give a care what the rest of these guys say. I'm a fan. I'll too sweet you. And I was like, what?
It was good. Yeah. I'm interested to see where they go with Bayley after all of this, man.
It was the night 2 interaction that really got me thinking of where they're going to go with her.
Yeah.
And if that interaction in night 2 is anything of what's going to happen, I'm kind of excited.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. But yes,
so let's talk about the tag team turmoil, which saw Naomi and Lana taking on Carmella and Billie Kay, taking on the Riot Squad.
Yeah, they started, and then it's elimination style from there.
Yeah.
Riot Squad was next.
Yep, and then it was
Andy Rose and Dana Brooke after that.
Yep. Which, while we're talking about them for a second, I feel bad for both members of this team. Mandy Rose slips going down the ramp during the entrance. Yeah. And she recovers, immediately. Like, she instantly gets up, plays it off like, oh, shit, I fell. And then freaking poor Dana Brooke during the match suffers a double nip slip.
Oh, did she? I did not see this. Oh, man.
Well, because by the time you and I got to it, they had already fixed the video.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
During the night of, they did blackout both times that her nipple fell out.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
So, it sucks. And then it comes down at the end, it comes down to Natty and Tamina and the Riot Squad.
Yeah.
And I will say that both teams put on one fuck of a match.
Dude, seriously.
The Riot Squad dressed as Joker and Harley, which I loved. I absolutely loved seeing the two of them dressed up. Yeah. And I noticed that Tamina's not rocking the black pants and leather jacket anymore. Tamina's rocking real gear.
And dude, she looks good.
She looked great.
Yeah, like I was like, damn. See, now that is what a big woman wrestler should look like.
Yes.
That is the perfect look, the perfect physique, everything.
Yeah.
Like I was really pleased to see all of that. I was like, wow.
I forgot how agile Tamina actually is until she's working side by side with someone like Natty.
Yeah. And
commentary did a great job at pointing out that both of them are second generation wrestlers, and that they deserve this spot because they're earning their own momentum. They're not wrestling off the legacy. They're earning their spots. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I see where we're going with this, and I'm okay with that. They're two of the hardest working women in the fucking company. Neither one of them have gotten much respect from anybody lately. So fucking go in there and earn your way.
And I think they are a great team together.
Yes. I did see the ending of that match going differently, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So Natty goes to lock in the sharpshooter, and instead of locking in the sharpshooter, she tags in Tamina and tells her to go to the top rope.
Yeah.
I thought Ruby Riott was gonna move. I'm like, oh, they're wasting a lot of time on this. This is gonna fucking backfire on them, and Tamina and Natty are gonna lose this match. And then no, Tamina hits the fucking flying body shot that her daddy did, and they win the match.
Splash.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, okay, so Natty and Tamina get to go on to night 2 and get a title shot. Awesome.
Yeah. And I thought they did fantastic here. But I think both of those teams did fantastic here.
All the teams involved did great. It started out with the
not as much. I mean, Naomi and Lana they're fine. I like them, but they didn't last very long. So you didn't really get to see much. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, they again didn't really get a lot of time. They came out and they were the first ones eliminated. Like they were the next ones eliminated.
Yep.
So they didn't really get a lot of time in there.
No.
So
most of the time that was spent in the ring was by the Riot Squad.
Yeah. Billie Kay and Carmella, I thought worked really well together. And Billie Kay was hilarious.
I think it's really funny that they've kind of phased Mella's newer gimmick out already. Like they're still referring to her as untouchable, but her gear at WrestleMania screamed money.
Yeah.
Yep. Because Mella is money.
And she wasn't annoying.
No. No. All right. So match 3.
Yes.
Now this was a match I was actually kind of excited for.
This was a match that I was like, okay, these are two good wrestlers, and but I didn't know what was, because I hadn't watched in a bit, so I didn't know what lead up happened here. So I wasn't as invested. I was excited to see them because I knew they'd put on a good show.
Yes.
But I wasn't as invested as I was in some of the other matches.
I was definitely not invested in the storyline, no, but I was definitely excited for this match. And it was Seth Rollins taking on the very first time Cesaro having a singles match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, which is wild because he's been in the E for like a decade.
Yeah.
And I think he's been at 8 WrestleManias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of them have either been tag matches or battle royals.
Yeah, which is
I'm like, how?
Crazy.
How the fuck is that never?
Yeah,
he was in the bar though for a few years, and that didn't help.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That like political ad thing that Seth did, I thought that was hilarious.
That was funny.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, okay, so this is where we're going with the WWE now. I was like, okay.
I thought it worked, man. I thought it worked.
One of the big things that really irritated me, and you pointed this out via text message to me. So they do the big swing at the end of this match. It's the big swing and then the neuralizer or neutralizer or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And they miscount the swings.
Yeah, dude. Like as it's happening, like I'm counting because like I know how to count. And so you count as soon as Seth's head reaches the starting point.
Yeah.
So when he gets to that side of the ring, that's one. And so I'm counting. And as I'm counting, the audience is counting faster than me. I'm like, and like it threw me off. I couldn't keep counting because of that. And so after I rewound it, muted it, and counted. And there were only 19 swings.
4 less than the crowd.
Yeah. And the record that he set was 22.
Yeah.
That's why the 23 was the breaking. Obviously, he was supposed to hit 23. Like that was the plan.
Yeah.
The crowd screwed him over in that aspect because they counted too fast.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And commentary, I think they were just going along with the crowd.
I believe so. I don't think, it's hard because you're watching it from a different angle that the crowd is, and then Cesaro, and it is what it is.
That is the one of those few downfalls of having a live crowd. Like if it was still the Thunderdome, they could have piped in that counting. You know what I mean? They could have easily just piped in the counting, and he would have just done his thing until it said 23. Then he would have let him go.
However. The other thing that really impressed me about this match? The UFO.
Yeah.
The airplane spin with no hands.
Yeah.
That was fucking impressive.
Dude, I love that. There was also a pretty sweet corkscrew splash from Rollins during that match.
Which apparently is like retro for him. I guess he used to do that a lot on the indie scene.
Yeah.
I was reading some shit about him doing that like online, and I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, yeah, man, I like that.
It was a Tyler Black thing.
Yeah, it was.
I guess Cesaro pulled out a couple of Claudio Castagnoli things. So
nice. Hey, man, sometimes you got to dig deep.
I mean, you do. Sometimes you gotta go right into someone's asshole.
It's true. I didn't have a ton of notes for this match, mainly because I was kind of like enthralled by it. Like I just wanted to watch it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I didn't have a lot of notes either. I have the 23 swings is wrong. Cesaro wins and great match.
Yeah,
it was a great match.
It was, yeah, absolutely.
Now the next match, not so much.
In between this, there was a quick interaction thing between Ziggler and Rude going on.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts about it? I don't know. I know you like those guys. I mean, I like Ziggler.
I do, but I mean, I'm also at the same point. Like, I'm kind of annoyed that like every championship was pretty much on the line at WrestleMania this year, except for theirs.
Yeah, it's like you got 2 full nights.
Yeah.
Why were they not wrestling?
Who knows?
You had 2 pre-shows. Why were they not on at least one of them?
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. So, anywho, next match.
So the next match was for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
Yes.
And it saw the New Day. Taking
Big E coming out and announcing them. What?
And it saw AJ Styles and the debuting Almost. Now, I'm
only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Sorry, I had you.
I'm gonna say that I had no hopes for Almost as a wrestler.
Yeah, me either.
And the way he came down to the ring, and the way he comes down to the ring made me laugh because commentary says something, and I know you don't ever listen to commentary, but did you catch what they said?
I don't. I mean, tell me. It may spark it in my mind.
When you're as big as Almost, I guess traditional gear isn't necessary.
Okay, yeah, I did catch that,
and I was like, trash bag wrestler. But I mean, obviously, when you're that big,
Great Khali had traditional gear. You know, he had a traditional type of wrestling pants.
Yes,
and he was huge.
And that's actually one of my notes is that my expectation for Almost was no higher than the performance of the Great Khali.
Yeah,
not because I wanted to put him in that category, but by tradition, we know most big guys, El Gante, or the Giant Gonzalez he was known in WWE, or Great Khali. Most of those guys don't work very well. They're hard to work with
because there's only so much that they can physically do.
Yes,
that's the thing.
But let me tell you, in the little bit of time that Almost was in the ring for this match, he performed way better than I expected him to.
Yeah,
he looked good.
Dude, the look on Xavier's face when he got tagged in was priceless.
Dude, there was a couple moments where New Day's facial expressions like really made it. Like Kofi does like a springboard drop kick and Almost no-sells it completely because he can. Yeah. And Kofi's like, and he's like, get him, Xavier. And I'm like,
dude, real quick, talking about Kofi, I loved his hair.
Did you notice the Mortal Kombat gear by any chance?
Oh, I didn't know.
They were wearing Mortal Kombat inspired gear.
Oh shit! Okay, I'll have to go back and look at the actual gear just to because that didn't click with me. So
one was wearing yellow, one was wearing blue.
Okay, cool. I mean, it makes sense because the movie comes out like next week.
Yeah, and they're hardcore gamers.
So yeah, it totally makes sense. I mean. There was one spot I thought which was funny when almost got tagged in when AJ was like reaching for him. Almost is just standing there, you know. I'm like, dude, all you gotta do is lean forward like half a foot, and you could tag yourself in.
Yeah,
like what are you doing, man? Like, come on, you aren't trying.
Same thing. I was like, man, that height advantage comes in handy sometimes, and they did not use it.
Yeah.
Now. This was a great match on behalf of like everybody involved. AJ Styles put forth one fuck of a fight.
AJ took such a beating. I give him props for taking the beating in this match to make Omos look good. That's really what it was.
Yeah. Now, New Day, obviously, if you haven't seen this match, New Day keeps AJ in there for as long as they absolutely could.
Yeah.
And they do a really great job at even like storytelling themselves, like commentating the match essentially as they're doing it, where they're like, "Come on, AJ, we're not letting you tag. You can't get this tag. Ha 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 ha."
This match to me proved that the New Day, and I don't know if this is going to be a hot take or not, but that the New Day is the best tag team wrestling in the WWE today.
Ooh, that's okay.
I mean,
that's a hell of a compliment right there.
You got a better one in the E right now? I mean, I don't.
I don't know, man. I don't think Miz and Morrison are getting the fair shake over on SmackDown right now. So
yeah, I think they could be like Miz and Morrison could get there. Like they have that kind of chemistry and ability.
Yeah,
like
they
the
do.
New Day. So, but yeah, they don't. They definitely don't get a fair shake.
No, no, not at all.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but that's my take.
Know. I mean, I don't take it as an insult though either.
No. I mean, maybe an insult to the rest of the tag team.
I mean, maybe it's just putting the rest of the tag teams on notice. Fucking step your game up, guys.
Yeah, because if you look at it, the only reason that they lost was because they have made Omos into this like essentially unstoppable force, and they have made him that since he's been there. Like it's not like he just came in. This was his first time you've ever seen him, and he did this. They've been building that persona the entire time.
It's really funny that you would say that because they pull that on night 2, and there's a huge fucking complaint from the fans going on about it right now.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, almost got in there, man. He owned the New Day, he owned being a big dude, and I was absolutely taken back, and I was like, oh shit, okay. Like
I have a question for you. So there's a point in this match. Omos is the legal man. He's in the ring. AJ comes up off the rope, leaps on puts his hands on Omos and leaps over him. How is that not a tag?
Because he wasn't in the corner where he was supposed to be. He was already on the top rope when he touched Omos.
Okay,
you have to be in your respective spot in the corner holding the tag rope to make a tag.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to go by the official ruling.
Yeah. I sat there. I was like, shouldn't that be a tag? But yeah. It makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. That was all. They won.
So. Omos and AJ Styles pick up the win. Become the new Raw Tag Team Champions, making AJ Styles a Grand Slam champion.
I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of them winning.
Neither was I, but I figured it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I was prepared.
I get it, but I was like, man, if New Day can pull this off, that cements them as one of the best.
Yeah.
No matter what, they're still the best in the company to me right now. But yeah, I don't know. I was disappointed that.
I get it. I get it.
Didn't win.
So then we transition into the next match of the night.
We did get one thing in between that I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
And it was the confirmation of WWE 2K22.
Yeah, which I was kind of shocked about because they said they weren't ever going to do the 2K series again.
Yeah.
But we're getting it.
2K22, baby.
Didn't get a 2K21 because 20 sucked so badly, but here comes 22.
Instead, they gave us 2K Battlegrounds.
Yes.
So, I mean, at least there was something. I like it. I've played it a bit. It's fun. It's different, weird in comparison, but I hope that 2K22 gets released on the Switch because I would totally get it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, then we go into this next match.
Hell yeah. It's the cage match, which saw Shane McMahon challenging a man he called stupid. Braun Strowman.
Oh, dude.
Now, I don't know about you, Josh, but if I was looking at anybody on the roster in the WWE, I would not walk up to Braun Strowman of all the people and go, "You're fucking stupid."
Yeah, no.
I don't
unless I was looking to die.
Because I'm like I get it. Like, people didn't want to see this match. Like, and I'm like, okay, there's got to be something more to this. Like,
it's also just, I feel like it was like they're sitting around like, okay, what do we do? Well, we got to come up with a storyline. Oh, his name is Braun, so he must not have any brains, and that's where the storyline came from.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, that's real inventive, guys. Real good.
Well, did you see that Shane's jersey even had that on the back of it? Brains versus Braun.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yep, they're just leaning right into it.
So before this match could even fucking get started, Shane McMahon's in the cage, Braun Strowman's coming out, and Jackson Riker and Elias attack fucking Braun Strowman from behind with a steel chair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so this is going to be a 3-on-1. Oh, okay, this is fucking horrible to start. And Braun Strowman gets in the ring. He's hurting. The ref gets the door shut. They lock the door. And this match goes exactly the way you would expect it to for about like the first 5 minutes. Shane's getting his jabs in there. Shane's like lighting up Braun Strowman. And then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman overcomes his ability to feel pain and starts slamming Shane around.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm like, okay. I see where this is going to go. And then it kind of turns around again. And Shane kind of gets the upper hand. And I'm like, well, fuck Shane McMahon. And I'm like, where the fuck are they going with this? That like, okay. Shane McMahon in the cage, one thing is going to happen. Shane McMahon is going to do something really fucking crazy in this match.
He does a couple things.
He did, but I mean, like, is to the point where, like, Shane's jumping off the top of the cage at some point. And I almost thought it wasn't going to happen because Shane McMahon almost gets out of the cage. If he would have just let go, he would have fallen to the floor. He'd have won the match. Sure. But instead, he decides he's going to stick his arm through the cage like an idiot and point at the stupid fuck. What happens? Braun Strowman goes full retard strong and fucking grabs him. And I'm like, ha ha.
Dude, that whole sequence was some of the best stuff in this whole night.
Dude,
rips the fucking cage open.
Ripped it open.
Dude, it was awesome.
And I was like, oh shit. Like he legit fucking ripped. He cut his own hand open. I don't know if you noticed that, but he was bleeding.
Oh, I did not.
That cage open.
No, I didn't.
So he rips the cage open. He pulls Shane back in, and then he proceeds to throw Shane on top of the cage again. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then Braun Strowman himself, the big man he is, climbs to the top of the steel cage. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, something bad's going to happen to somebody tonight. And it does. Shane McMahon decides he is going to fly like Superman in the night breeze with Lois Lane. Only thing is, Shane McMahon can't fly.
Nope.
So he goes up, out, and falls.
Oh, dude. My God. It was so bad.
I honestly, because Shane at this point in his life, I believe Shane is either in his late 40s or early 50s. And I was like, holy I
feel like he's got to be in his, like, because how old was he, in the Attitude Era?
I honestly don't remember.
I feel like he had, yeah, because, I mean, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I want to say Shane, if I'm not mistaken, I believe I heard he's 47.
Okay.
But I mean, like, even then, though, that's still quite the age to be taking a bump like that.
Dude, it's that dude, man. Let's see. Shane McMahon, born in 1970, so he's 51.
Oh my God! So yeah, that's even. Damn.
Yeah. And he sells like a champ. And he can still hit a coast to coast.
Yes, that shocked me.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like,
holy shit.
okay, he's going for the coast to coast. Can he actually make this?
Yeah,
sure as shit, man.
dude.
He
And
did.
being inside of the cage though, that's impressive because you don't have the spot of the ropes where like usually you can kick him further and get a little bit more spring in there.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, damn.
Yep. Okay, and so here's a question. Are those bags normally up there on cages?
No.
Because, like, I was like, what is up with these bags? And then Shane pulls a freaking toolbox out of one of them.
Yeah.
But that was, like, the only thing that came out of those. And there was, like, a couple of those bags.
Yeah.
So
no, those bags typically aren't up there that I've ever noticed before anyway.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on with those? Is something else going to happen? But nothing else happened with them. But
nope. Yeah. But Braun does pick up a win.
But yeah, I mean, Shane pretty much died right there. So because here's the thing,
his little buddies didn't come out to help him either.
Here's the thing: Shane got tossed, right? And you would think that there along. Well, I mean, they did earlier, and Braun like knocked him off the cage.
That is true.
Shane gets tossed off the top of the cage, and you would think, okay, Braun could either climb out, walk out the door, or just pin him right there.
Yep.
Nope. He was not done with him. He decided he's going to do a running power slam first.
A running power slam.
I was like, man, it's like Weekend at Bernie's over here. It's just freaking flopping around a dead body.
Well, my thoughts on that was because I thought the same thing. I was like, well, either he's going to climb down out of the cage, like off the cage and win, or he's going to come down and climb out the door. I didn't think he was going to go for a pin.
Yeah.
And then he picked up Shane, and I was like, the only issue I had with that was there was no communication between like the ref and Braun. If Shane would have been like legit hurt, he picked him up and then proceeded to power slam him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I mean, I don't know if during like one of the cuts, like how the camera pans away, if maybe the ref checked on Shane during that. I don't know. But yeah.
So Braun picks up the win, the big W. And then we get some Bayley again.
Yes, we do.
I know Josh was happy about this. So Bayley's at ringside making fun of the fact that the Hall of Fame gets to come out. And it's all old people because she hasn't seen Hogan or Titus for like a little while. Yeah. And it's because both of them, and I forgot that Titus was getting the Warrior Award, both of them were in the Hall of Fame for 2020.
Yes. Yep. And I know a new pair of glasses, like I said.
Yep.
I
didn't actually notice that, but I'm glad you did.
Yep.
I'm more upset that Bayley didn't have a match at WrestleMania because she is one of the hardest working women in the division. It's
true, but I mean, we're talking more about her than anybody else, pretty much. So
true.
That's got to say, true. She was on everybody's mind at least for a bit, throughout both nights.
I mean, she's always on my mind, but
it's true.
Usually it's because of that booty.
And
it's funny we're talking about booty because it was WrestleMania pirate theme.
It was. So then they decided to do the Hall of Fame stuff. They brought up the class of 2020. They had JBL, William Shatner, the Bella Twins, Jushin Liger, Titus O'Neil for the Warrior Award, British Bulldog, and the NWO. So, John, got any thoughts about that last year's class of Hall of Fame?
So one really made me happy. One made me cry.
Yeah.
Davey Boy Smith really made me cry because I was a big Davey Boy Smith fan growing up.
Yeah.
And it was really great getting to see his kids and his wife get to finally honor their family. The NWO, man, I was a huge NWO fan growing up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still an NWO fan as an adult. I really loved the induction speech at the ceremony, and I thought that they do a really great job. The only thing about the actual speech that pissed me off was Kevin Nash trying to play down that he doesn't think that they're as big as they really are. Because fuck you. You're as big as you are. Otherwise, WWE wouldn't keep your fucking tall ass around after you've blown both your you did.
It's so true. It's so true. I think it's so funny that how they give one like one inductee, the musical entrance.
Yeah.
When they come out they did that each night. The first night was yours, and the second night was mine. I thought that was great. I loved it.
I will say this though, it is a proven thing that when you are NWO, you are NWO for life.
That's right, baby.
All right. So after that Hall of Fame, which there was a really good set of inductees this year. I'm not really gonna get into it too much about I was really excited to see the NWO go in. I was really sad that Bischoff didn't get inducted with them, although he would get inducted into 2021, which, whatever. Yeah. Let's talk about that next match, though, which, in my opinion, stole the fucking night. Now, if you don't know what match I'm talking about, that would be the match where two men got a debut, two men had a gripe, and there were a bunch of bunnies with only one ear.
I noticed that. I was like, what is up with the one-eared bunnies all over the place?
Budget cuts?
Budget cuts, man. All the time.
The Miz and Morrison taking on the debuting Damian Priest at WrestleMania and his tag team partner, the Celebrity, the former 24/7 champion, Bad Bunny.
That's right.
Now, I know I've been doing a lot of talking tonight because it's Mania. I'm excited. But Josh, when a superstar like Bad Bunny, I shouldn't say superstar, let me rephrase that. When a celebrity match happens, Snooki or Steve-O and them, what typically do we get from them?
I mean, typically not a lot. There, especially in the modern era, there have been very few celebrities who really do much of anything. The only ones that really come to mind for me, Pat McAfee recently. Yes. I hated him at first, but he really worked his ass off and did his thing. Stephen Amell
did great.
He was real good doing this. And now Bad Bunny. I was
a rapper
shocked. And this dude is scrawny.
He is.
You know what I mean? But he impressed the hell out of me during this match.
Now,
I was so shocked.
You talked about how the mannerisms from AJ Styles and Almost the New Day. Sorry. The New Day with Almost were but Miz sold everything Bad Bunny did with his facial expressions, which just
yeah, he's so, and it's stuff like that has continuously made me love the Miz, no matter what he's doing.
This match, I figured Damian Priest was going to carry the workload for this match. Looks like that's what they were going to do at first. He's in the ring, Miz and Morrison are in the ring, and then, they start getting out of the ring, and Miz is tag him in. Tag in Bad Bunny. Yeah. And the fans were tag him. And he tags him in, and it just... Why don't you tell me what your thoughts were on this match?
All right, so I thought, so Bad Bunny gets in, starts things off really, really good. Did some real impressive stuff here. I did notice one thing that I thought was, I think this is probably because he's not experienced. Miz goes to toss him out of the ropes, and Bad Bunny slips and just smashes into the bottom two ropes, and then
I don't know if it was that or if the ring was wet.
That's possible too. Then he powders himself out, so he kind of it didn't look like necessarily a botch in the way you would think. It just looked like he tripped and fell. It's just anybody who's getting thrown, that might happen. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say they could play it off at the same time as it was. He's not an experienced wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely. And but I was so impressed with everything he did, from the diving off the top to that fucking destroyer that he does.
Yeah,
dude, the Bunny Destroyer. As somebody I think it was Booker T said that. I was like, I saw that before I watched the match. And so I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And even though I knew it was coming, I was still like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
When it happened. Yeah.
Even the Miz, when he does that, Miz is in the ring and he's just like,
yeah.
And like he looks over at Priest and he's like, I'm like,
I give it to Jomo because I'll be honest, that move is more on the person taking it than the person doing it.
Yes.
And Jomo, man, he was the perfect guy to do that move with.
Yes.
For him
but
to make him
at the same time. What day did for night one happen for WrestleMania? Do you remember?
The 10th,
okay.
I believe.
So April 10th, the day the Canadian Destroyer died permanently. You will never see the Canadian Destroyer ever happen again because someone like Bad Bunny did it. P.D. Williams will never be able to do that move with legitimacy ever again.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, but then I'm like, nah, it's too good a move, man. I feel like no matter what, it's still going to happen. And it's going to look devastating every time somebody does it.
I remember one time seeing P.D. Williams do it from a run. He was in the middle of a match with somebody. He hit the ropes and like somebody like tried to trip him up, but like he still had the momentum. Came in, jumped, and like did like a sunset flip with it and fucking boom, destroyer. Yeah. I was like, yes.
I've seen it done from a top rope, which is pretty sweet too. Yeah, that is a move that anytime someone does it, it makes me physically be like, yeah, every time.
You need to look up the Japanese guy doing it to a blow-up doll 9 times in a row.
You know, I have seen that. You sent that to me once, and it was fucking hilarious. Anybody out there, if you have not seen it, look it up. It's hilarious.
So, Damian Priest and Bad Bunny pick up the win at WrestleMania.
John, what were your thoughts on it all?
Oh, my God.
Come on.
This is my match of the night. I don't give a shit what anything else happened in the rest of the night. This was my match of the night. Because this match, the whole time, I was cheering. I forgot that I was supposed to be taking notes. I had to stop it afterwards and notes. Bad Bunny really.
I paused it a few times because I was like, I gotta pause it because I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, I have to say, like, there was a couple points where I forgot that I was like supposed to be like watching this for a purpose, and I was like, oh shit, okay. Bad Bunny really turned it around for me, and I was like, this match. This match, yes.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I did not think it would be anywhere near the top for me originally, like before I watched it.
I would not have thought that either, but yeah. Yeah. I ruined one of my moments, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the closure for night one, the main event. It was the Universal Women's Championship match, and it was Sasha Banks defending her championship against Bianca Belair. Now, to do the little bit of backstory to this, all of you know Bianca Belair won the 2021 Royal Rumble. She got her moment after, like, I think she waited, like, close to a month or two before she decided she was going against Sasha. She comes to WrestleMania. This is the first time ever 2 black women have fought for the women's championship in the main event, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Of WrestleMania. This was a fucking precedent-setting match. And if you don't think this fucking match was important to the women's evolution of wrestling, then you can get the fuck out the door. Because this match fucking not only had everything built to it, but they fucking showed that emotion in the ring. And I don't care if it was fake emotion or not, because they're actors. That's what they do. Yeah. But they showed that they had what it took to stand toe-to-toe with one another and deliver a fucking match that fucking almost stole the night.
Dude, it was... dude, you pretty much just stole everything I wanted to say there. Because it was such a fantastic match.
You tell me your side to this. You tell me how you would have said that.
I mean, Yeah, like it's like you pretty much said, it is an extremely important match. You know, the first time two black women headlining WrestleMania, like that's incredible. And they not only were there making history, but they fucking tore it down, man.
They did.
Like this match was incredible. Like I feel like I saw stuff from Bianca that I have not seen from her. Like stuff that you get glimpses of from her. Cause like I've known for a long time that she's had a lot of potential, but she put it all out on the line during this match.
Legit finally, in my opinion, showed me why she is the EST. Whether it's the best or the greatest, maybe even the finest.
Speaking of EST, I don't know if she ever said this, but if she did not, it was a very big missed opportunity. Did she ever say that she was going to put the EST in WrestleMania? Because if not, missed opportunity.
I'm pretty sure she did.
I hope so, because it's sitting right there. And it was something I thought about. I was like, I don't know if she ever said that, but if she didn't, man, that's a bummer. There was something I wanted to point out. There was a point in the match where Sasha Banks did a splash from the top rope.
Okay.
And Michael Cole multiple times was like, she was going to do the Meteora, but she turned it into a splash. Yeah. And I'm like, Bianca Belair was on her back the whole time. Never once got up. She was never going to do the Meteora because the Meteora requires the person to be upright so she can drive her knees and bring them down.
Yep.
And so I don't understand why he continued to say it.
It
bothered me.
That pissed me off a couple times too.
I'm like,
you're right.
It never looked like she changed what she was going to do. It looked like she got up there and she did the move that she did. Like,
yep.
And there was, I don't know. It just bothered me that he said it. Like, if he had said it one time, whatever. But he said it like at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off, dude. That's not what happened here.
So one of the big moments that really made me, I popped hard. The first one was Sasha Banks goes for a suicide dive. And Bianca Belair like catches her and rolls with it. And then proceeds to not only stand up, which shows a tremendous feat of strength, she proceeded to then military press Sasha Banks, which is a fucking feat of strength. But that wasn't done. No. That would have been too easy to have showed your fucking strength then. No. She proceeds to then walk to the steps, go up the steps, and then fucking throw Sasha Banks' ass into the ring.
Yeah.
That right there, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't the moment that made me scream fuck in my living room, there was something that finally happened at WrestleMania, which I guess it happened a few times in NXT, which would explain why me and you had never seen it, but we've talked about it. And that is finally that her hair got used against her.
Yeah.
And there was a fucking Banks statement where she wrapped her hair around her and was pulling back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, Sasha Banks is going to retain by using Belair's hair. And I was like, the ref can't even disqualify it because her hair gets in there all the time.
Yeah.
And then she gets out of it and something else happens and then they start tug-of-warring. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like they're tug-of-warring with her hair. And then as she...
Go ahead. Oh, I mean, if you're going to say it, I don't want to, so you go ahead and finish.
Yeah. She jerks the hair out of her hands, and as Sasha Banks comes in, she fucking whips her.
Yeah. And there was like a lash mark. Like this big, like a foot long on her like side. I was like, holy shit. She legit whipped her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I literally,
because you could hear it.
Yeah.
You could hear the crack.
In my paperwork, I have that whip. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn. Because you could tell that hurt her. Like, she was in legit pain.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Now, spoiler alert, new champ.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but I had posted on Twitter that they need to start calling the women's titles by the Universal and the WWE Women's.
Yeah, I retweeted it from the Off the Ropes page, and I tagged every single
That's right
person, every single woman who has done that, who has been one of those two.
Naomi does not follow Off the Ropes with John and Josh.
Well, she not only does not follow, she blocked us for some reason. I don't know why, but who knows? We could have said something way back in the day that she didn't like, and who knows? But
so, I mean, congratulations to Bianca Belair becoming the new Universal Women's Champion. Because I'm gonna continue to call it that.
Oh yeah, I have it in my. That's the way I had put it in my notes.
Same with mine. I will go back to calling the men's by the men's proper titles, the WWE and the Universal. But I'm also going to call the women's titles by those as well because it's only respectful.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
So let's break down our night ones, bro.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
What do you got for? Well, I already said my match of the night. So what do you got for match of the night?
My match of the night is actually the one we just talked about: Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Yeah.
I almost went with that one, but Bad Bunny stepped it up so far that I had to.
I almost went with the one that you chose. Like, I was very close to that one, but nah.
Well, no. I guess we'll just go down. What do you have for worst moment of the night?
For worst match of the night?
For worst match, sorry.
I'll be honest with you, and it's not that it's not a bad match, but it's the opener. It was Lashley and McIntyre. Same. I felt like every other match did something more impressive.
Yeah.
And this one and maybe it's Lashley. I've never liked Lashley. Maybe. And I feel like every time I watch a match with him, he just doesn't do anything for me. He doesn't impress me. I don't know.
Maybe it was just the two of them because I felt the same way though.
And I didn't like the ending. So
that's
or that weak ass distraction from MVP.
So what do you got for moment of the night?
I was torn here between a couple, but I think the one that I'm gonna choose is when Braun Strowman ripped open the cage.
Ripped open the cage.
Yeah.
Interesting.
When he ripped that cage open,
I went with him launching Shane McMahon like a long dart.
That's a good one too, man. That's a good one too.
I mean, it's a moment because of both sides, though.
Yeah.
Braun having that moment of shut the fuck up and die, and Shane McMahon for showing he could still do something that really made me go, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It, I worried for his health when that
Now, I'm going to ask you the next one nicely, and I expect only one answer. Who do you have for MVP of the night?
I feel like there was only one that it could be.
If it's not
and the it's one Bad Bunny.
Yes, it is. And that is exactly who deserved that moment, too, because Bad Bunny really showed it doesn't matter if you are a part-timer or not. You deserve to have a WrestleMania moment.
The reason that tag match was my number 2 was because of him. The reason that my almost choice for moment of the night was the Destroyer was, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I felt like everything that he did and the fact that he blew away all expectations, I felt like he was the only real choice for me. So.
No, dude, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So that wraps up night 1
of WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
So then we go to what they were calling WrestleMania Sunday, and I fucking hate that. I'm going to just call it 2. Yes. I did a lot of talking for night 1. Josh, why don't you take the wheel?
All right, so night 2 starts off similar to night 1, except no 40-minute delay this time.
No 40 minutes.
Though the event still lasted about the same amount of time.
Yeah, how does that happen?
I was like, geez, it's still like over almost 3.5 hours. Yeah. So we had country singer Ashlyn Kraft performing America the Beautiful on night 2. Titus and Hogan back to co-host. This time they come out full pirate garb.
Which
I gotta say,
thought was really kind of cool.
Yeah, I dug it, man. I dug it. So, unlike the first night, the second night does not start off with a title match, but it did start off with a pretty big one that I did not think would be the opener. And that was Randy Orton versus The Fiend with Alexa Bliss. I did not think they were going to open with this, but hey, man, I was happy to see it happen. Orton comes out. He is so good at playing the unstable character with the twitches, and he's mumbling to himself as he's coming out. And I was like, dude, Orton has gotten so good at this over the years. Because it's not the first time he's done this type of a character. Like, you know what I mean? He's always been his character's always been kind of unstable, and there has been times where he's done where he mutters to himself and things, but it's gotten more with everything that's happened with the Fiend, and I really like that a lot.
I also think part of it though was they had some rainfall right before the show started.
Yeah,
you noticed when he was going down the ramp and shit, he was checking it to make sure it wasn't slick and stuff.
Yeah,
he was very careful about a lot of the moves he made. Part of me thinks part of him running his mouth was him being like, fucking opening match, and here we are, it's fucking wet.
Oh, like he's just like mouthing off to himself.
Uh-huh.
You know what? That would actually be pretty funny if that was what it was.
I mean, that's what part of me would like to think, at least.
Because that could have easily been what it was, but it fit into this unhinged character that's been driven kind of insane a little bit by what the Fiend has been doing. So no matter what, it worked. So I don't know if you'll agree with this, but Randy Orton and the Fiend, to me, is one of the best feuds I've seen in a long time. I think that they have done some amazing stuff with it. And I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but one of the best in years, I feel like, that I have seen. What are your thoughts?
I will say it like this. There's been a lot of good that's come out of the Randy Orton Fiend storyline. It has allowed Bray Wyatt to show that he does not need the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship to be over. Yeah. Randy Orton has shown why he's the top of the fucking company. Randy Orton is one of those guys that no matter who you put somebody with, put him with, they're going to look fucking solid.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is a gratuitous worker in the fact that he will give as much as he can take. But if he does not like somebody, that person's fucking done. Kofi Kingston is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
It took 10 years for Kofi Kingston to get to the top of the company again. And Bray Wyatt has done nothing but stand equal with Randy Orton. Randy Orton, with age, only gets better.
It's true. He's like a fine wine.
And he is absolutely like a fine wine. And this match with Bray Wyatt, this feud with Bray Wyatt, has not only helped Randy Orton's career, it's helped Bray's career. And Alexa Bliss has even said that now that she's working with the two of them, her creative landscape has opened up to where she's allowed to do stuff now that she was never allowed to do before.
And dude, she has shined throughout this whole thing, man. Especially here, this match, I was like, holy shit.
Can we just for a moment talk about Bray's entrance here, though?
I was just gonna start that.
Go ahead.
A great CGI kind of entrance for him, and I put in my notes, he's back, baby, because he's in the whole burned up gimmick thing that he did.
Oh yeah,
he walks through this tunnel thing. And it's just, you see just the light come out of him, and boom, he's got a brand new mask, new gear, very similar, obviously, to everything. What did you think of the new version of the mask?
I'm not going to lie. I can't really tell the difference.
It looked a lot cleaner. It was really white on the sides. It didn't look.
I didn't really notice the difference.
Because the original one looked almost like that Joker. Remember back in the day with the comics where the Joker cut his face off? That's what that reminded me of. This one looked a lot cleaner in that. It didn't quite look like that.
I wonder if they purposely did that then.
Probably. You know, they probably wanted something new. Since
I will say, though, no matter what, he looked good.
Yeah.
He looked a lot better than... I mean, he's lost some weight being off TV.
He's in better shape now.
Much better shape.
Absolutely.
I
loved the giant Jack-in-the-Box.
Yes.
That thing was so cool.
I loved that Alexa was like cranking the handle and then he's just kind of like rising up. And I love, like, because I don't know if you noticed this, but when he started doing the Fiend, they remixed his old theme. Yeah. And they got like a new singer and it's a little faster and it's more rocky.
Yeah.
I was like, just the whole package together, him walking down and rejuvenating and the rising up out of the Jack. I was like,
oh. Yeah, dude, it was so good. And then he gets all the way up and he just diving forearm, like diving clothesline to Randy Orton. And I was like, holy shit.
And I thought that too. Like, I'm like, how the fuck is he getting down from there? Like, are they going to cut away for a couple seconds to do like a commercial or a breakaway? Nope. I'm like, because like he's up there. And then I noticed where it was placed and I'm like, oh, he's diving. Like, he's going to dive. And he did. Like you said, he did that diving clothesline. And I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, he does. Okay, so one thing that I noticed that I really missed were the Fireflies.
Yes.
Having a crowd again.
Yes.
With the lights pretty much out and having like people putting up their phones, you know?
Yep.
I missed that so much. Didn't know that I missed it until it was there. I was like, damn, I missed that. So that's definitely something that having a crowd is beneficial for.
Absolutely.
I did notice, which I thought was really cool, they fought the entire match under red light. Which I was like,
they usually do that with the Fiend.
I really dug that. I was like, that's really cool. Because, I mean, obviously you can't do stuff in post because there's a crowd. You know, so I like how they were able to just make it. You had that feeling like you were in the depths of hell with him, just with some lighting, which I thought was really cool. I really like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, I thought this match was really good. However, I thought it was really quick, a lot quicker than I thought it would be. I also didn't think it was going to end the way it did. You know, I didn't see, I mean, for those of you who haven't watched it, what are you doing? But Randy Orton picks up the win, you know, and I didn't think that was going to happen. I was like, of course, you know, the Fiend's going to win this. Nope.
Rewind it back a little bit because there's a couple things I want to talk about.
Yeah, man, go right ahead.
Cue me up. You ready for this? Because,
shit.
Let me tell you something, brother.
There it is.
I thought that they did something very interesting here. And it happens a few times throughout the match. And I love this. Bray Wyatt shows immunity to pain. Randy Orton does a backdrop on the announce table. And Bray Wyatt instantly fucking stands up.
Yeah.
Randy Orton goes vintage and does the middle rope DDT. And Bray Wyatt instantly stands up. And I was like, oh, shit. And then...
Randy Orton does I'm pretty sure he did an RKO. And then, boom, he just like hops right back up.
Yep.
Like nothing. Yeah.
Yep. This version of Bray, whether it be like a 2.0 Fiend or whatever they're going to do, clearly is where they need marketing right now. Because this is the person who's going to be the next Undertaker. This is going to be the guy who's going to be the next Mick Foley. They are like, you're taking Undertaker, you're taking Mick Foley, you're taking Kane, and you're putting them all together, and you get the Fiend, and it's fucking amazing. Because, you know, he's got the Funhouse version where it's just Bray. Yeah. And then you get the Fiend, and it's like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, though, he loses, but he doesn't just lose because Randy Orton was better.
No.
He loses because Alexa Bliss turns on him slightly. I don't know if she's turning on him or showing, because she did a promo on Raw that really got me thinking. And she says something where she's pretty much like, I don't need you to be who I am. she's like, you might be holding me back. And I'm like, where the fuck are they going with this?
Yeah.
Like, he gave you, he made you.
Yeah. Yeah. So like flames erupt from the corner posts.
Yeah.
And he's like, he looks up at her and just like black just starts gushing from her head. And it's like, holy shit, man. And that's what gives Orton the moment to take this match.
The opening for the RKO.
Yeah, dude. It was, again, I wish it had gone like at least another 5 minutes. You know what I mean? I feel like it was just way too quick. Like they could have kept doing stuff. They could have kept going for a few more.
They could have.
And then ended it the same way. But I don't know. I was like, damn, that was way too fast for me.
I think
like,
if it had went any longer, though, it would have had to have been more in Orton's favor. And they were really trying to tell the story that the Fiend is going to be dominant.
Yeah, I get that.
And with the way they did it, they had him being dominant most of the match until she popped in at the end. Orton got that squeak out. And even Orton was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, fuck this shit.
Yes.
Whatever's going on between these two, I'm not part of that.
Yep, I ain't part of this. I'm out.
So like Josh says, Randy Orton won. Good for him.
Yep, and the lights come back on, which was weird. Like you're watching the whole thing in red, right?
Yeah.
And then lights come on, and it's just like normal. I'm just like, it was just like a weird, because it was a snap back on, the lights on.
Oh yeah.
And so it was just like a weird adjustment to be like, oh, okay, he's in normal colors right now. And then the lights go out and then he's gone, you know? So yeah, I mean, it was good. It was definitely good. I wanted it to be longer, but I understand why, storyline wise, I understand why it couldn't have been. But
I wanted to be longer than that. I know your sex tape.
It's true. So then we go backstage. We got Titus and Hogan, and they're in back talking with Bischoff, and Bayley comes back out with another new pair of glasses, and she is really pumping her Ding Dong Hello podcast, which I might have to check out.
Trying.
I might have to check it out. I don't know what I don't know what would be all up in it, but I have to check it out nonetheless.
I will say this. I really love that Eric Bischoff's like, I'm not much of a podcaster. Like, I'm more of a book kind of guy. And I'm like,
I have his book.
I love Uncle Eric.
Then we get into the women's tag team match.
Yes, for the women's tag team championships.
That's right. Tamina and Natalya versus Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. I got to say, over the last year, I have truly grown to like Shayna Baszler.
I can respect that.
I can't say the same for Nia Jax, but I can say it for Shayna Baszler.
I'm losing more and more respect for Nia Jax.
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I look at what Tamina can do, you know, being that bigger woman, being from a wrestling family. Okay. I see what she's doing, and I'm like, why can't Nia do this? You know, it's like, come on. You've got all the same opportunity.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What were your thoughts on this match?
I don't have a lot of notes for this match. I have a couple that I think make the difference, though.
Okay.
I thought this match had a great pace to it.
Yeah.
Like, this match wasn't slow for any of the necessity to it. It was quick enough pace that it really picked up right where Orton and Fiend left off.
Yeah.
It kept that feel going. There was a really stiff fucking knee from Baszler at one point to Natty.
Dude, right in the fucking face.
Right in the fucking face.
Oh my God. It looked
I don't know
devastating.
if you saw the tweet from Natty afterwards about, she posted a picture of her mouth.
Yeah.
She fucking like bit her lip really hard, and like there's fucking lot of damage. To which Shayna Baszler and Britt Baker got into it on Twitter, and it made me laugh.
Really?
So this happens. Natty posts the picture. Shayna Baszler retweets it and goes, "Somebody better call me the dentist, because here I am knocking out teeth." And Britt Baker goes, "Well, if you're the dentist, I guess I'm the queen of spades." And I was like,
oh, that's funny.
But then there was a little beef between the two of them, and I respect it.
That's too funny. That's too funny. I mean, Shayna was doing some damn good stuff here. When she stomped, I think it was Natty's ankle.
Yes.
Dude. I was like, holy shit, did she just fuck her up?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. She obviously in real life it didn't. But she has gotten to the point where she can make those types of moves look so fucking real.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I have all the respect for her now.
I agree.
She has done what Ronda Rousey could never do.
I can respect that.
And become a legitimate, believable wrestler. Yeah.
I can respect that. There is one thing about the end of this match, though, that really upset me.
Okay.
So, the tag happens where Shayna Baszler tags in Nia Jax. And Natty and Tamina, well, at least Natty, because I don't really remember about Tamina, but at least Natty sees the tag and then proceeds to keep stomping and working on Shayna Baszler.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just kind of like fucks up in there. And I'm like,
yeah,
you saw the tag. Why wouldn't you try to like...
She probably wasn't supposed to be looking. You know what I mean?
I know, but it's just one of those moments. It took me out of the match for a couple seconds because I'm like,
yeah,
all they did was make Natty look really dumb.
Yeah.
Whether it was unintentional or not.
Speaking of tagging, did you notice that Tamina totally missed the tag?
Yes.
Like she went to tag, but I don't know what she did. It almost looked like she pulled her hand away. I don't know what she was doing, but she missed the tag, and then they had to do it like it looked real like clunky. I was like, what happened there?
Well, I know we didn't mention this during night one, but did you notice that there was a point in the tag turmoil match where Dana Brooke smacked Mandy Rose's ass for a tag?
I don't think I saw that. No.
Dana Brooke was like doing like the mounted punches, or she was doing something. She was on the second rope with the person in front of her, and Dana Brooke reaches over and smacks her on the ass, and that was the tag.
That's hilarious. Oh,
and I was like, that's inventive.
Yeah, hey man, you do what you do, right? There was a one pretty funny spot. So I mentioned it for night one. When I think it was like McIntyre said, "Bring it, bitch," to Lashley. Well, Nia Jax had a moment similar to this, but didn't quite come off the same. Is when she says, "I'm King Kong, bitch."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you just quoting Training Day, or are you trying to like reference the fact that King Kong Godzilla movie just came out?" I don't know where she was going with it, but I was like, "Really? That's what you're gonna go with?"
Yeah.
You're like, people make fun of her for her size. They do.
Yes, they do.
I mean, maybe she's trying to own it, but I don't know if comparing yourself to King Kong is the best route.
I don't know. I'll throw a banana at her. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I thought it was kind of funny that it made me chuckle when she said that.
I will say,
yeah,
I was really disappointed in the ending of this match.
Yeah,
Nia goes up for the big body splash.
Yeah,
Nia Jax moves. They get the fucking retain, and I was like, why? Why do they have to keep retaining the titles?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think that in general they're a good tag team, but I do think that Natty and Tamina would make a hell of a set of champions. I really do. What I found interesting was that both nights had unconscious submissions for wins.
That is true.
I found that rather interesting that it happened again during this night. So
again.
But I mean, I don't know if they dealt with it through during the week at all, but I could see a feud continuing with these two.
This is far from over.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the next match of the night.
Yes, sir.
Which now holds a new respect in my eyes. It's not match of the night, but it holds a new respect in my eyes for a new reason.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about the match because of it.
All right. So we've got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, John. Sami Zayn comes out first, introduces Logan Paul to what I noticed, a mixture of cheers and boos.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. I was like, wow.
If this was the Thunderdome, they would have piped in only cheers.
Only cheers.
Yeah. So I like that we get an actual real reaction now, then that there's a crowd back. So, yeah.
What were your overall thoughts on this match, though?
As far as the match goes, I thought it was actually really good. This is another one of those matches where I didn't have a lot of notes because I was just like, I wanted to watch it. I was enthralled in watching the match. I do have a few notes. I put down Sami is the prince of the powder out.
Yeah,
dude is so good at just powdering out, man. And he always has been. That's what I love about him. That suplex onto the apron was pretty sick.
Dude, that was.
Yeah. And then, a vicious super kick and stunner at the end, which I thought was good. And then there's some more stuff after the match, but those are like I said, I didn't have many notes because I wanted to watch. Like I was just enthralled in it. Yeah.
My two big notes for this match that aren't after the match. I could watch this feud forever.
Yeah.
This feud's been going on for decades. It happened when they were El Generico and Kevin Steen for fucking Christ's sakes. And Zayn trying to mount an offense, but isn't getting anywhere.
It's so true.
But that being said, like you said, he does that suplex on the ring apron, and I was like, holy shit. And like Sami Zayn, for the conspiracy angle he's pushing, was really doing his best at making it look like, like he's putting on the match of a lifetime while trying to make it look like someone's against him.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, I noticed like there was so for those of you who don't follow us on our other social medias, I tweeted at Ref Jess saying that her work in this match was well done due to the fact that like there's a point at the very beginning of the match where Sami has Kevin in the corner and he's got his like hands in his face and it's a typical heel move. And she comes in and she's like 1, 2, 3, and she's like, get him out of the corner or I'll disqualify you. Sami could have instantly let go and have turned around and been like, oh, so you're going to disqualify me. You're going to disqualify me. Blah, 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 conspiracy. Instead, let go, did another heelish tactic, and went back to pulling heel moves.
Yeah.
She asserted herself in there a couple times and even audibly said, I'll disqualify you, whatever.
I caught her say at one point, she was like, get out of my face. Yeah. Like when he was all up in her grill about something. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. She's like, yeah man.
So, after watching this match, I tweeted that I thought she did a great job with this match. Now I watched it. This is night 2. So I watched this on Thursday. I watched this Thursday morning. So WrestleMania had already happened almost a week prior to this. And I'm like, I'll tweet it at her anyway. I mean, it's a respect thing. Not trying to sleep with somebody thing. So I tweeted at her and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And well-beknownst to me, she liked it. Kevin Owens retweeted it to Jess. And a bunch of people have liked it since then. And 2 people.
And then she retweeted Kevin Owens' retweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool because 2 people have made comment that if Sami Zayn probably saw that comment, he'd blow a gasket. And I'm like,
I was so hoping he would like comment on it. That would have been hilarious. Yeah.
Now, Kevin Owens wins. He doesn't just win. He fucking wins.
Dude, he does. What happened here, I was like, dude, he just emanated Steve Austin here.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was watching a Stone Cold match at the end here.
So
not just because he hits a stunner, but the way he kind of presents himself there, and just everything leading right up to it, and what happens right after. I was like, holy shit, man! It's like, and then the stuff that happens after the match.
One thing I forgot to mention was when the match first started. You know what I was thinking to myself, and it was really weird because it happens immediately.
What?
The match starts like entrances, mind you, and I'm like, I really hate that Kevin Owens uses the stunner now because I really miss the pop-up powerbomb. And then the bell rings, Sami charges, and he's like, up, bam! And I was like, oh, never mind, there it is. Like,
ask and you shall receive, right?
I like that he does the stunner, but at the same time, I always thought the pop-up powerbomb was a much fucking better move.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, so because I know Josh really, really wants to talk about this because he hates Logan Paul fucking much. Josh, he gets the 1, 2, 3. Tell us about afterwards.
Okay, so Logan Paul comes in, checks on Sami and all this, right? But then he tries to go over and start congratulating Kevin Owens. Sammy's like, nuh-uh, you're here to support me. Gets in his face, and Logan just slaps the piss out of him. He kind of takes off, whatever. Logan raises Kevin Owens' hand. Kevin Owens, he's like, what the fuck is all this shit? You see that smirk on his face. Goes right over to him. Boom! Hits that stunner. Classic Austin style.
Oh, yeah!
It was fucking... I was like, where's the beer? We need some beers in the ring. Yeah. It was awesome. What about you?
I had nothing bad to say about it. I laughed hysterically. Because he did. He's like, Kevin Owens like ripped his hand out of there, and then he's like, yeah. No. Boom. Bam. I was like, ha.
Oh, dude, it was perfect. It was so perfect. I loved it. Loved it. All right. So then we go backstage. We get Riddle on a scooter, and he finds the great Khali.
Yep.
And Riddle really annoys me.
Yep.
That's, yeah.
I don't know who made
At one point, RVD comes over, and he shows off his RVD rolling papers. That was the best part of that whole interaction.
Yeah, but I don't know who made that promo worse. If it was Riddle being like Riddle or Khali not speaking any English.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, because there was one point like where like Khali was like, and RVD's like, what he said was.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck did Ali or Khali, or when did Rob Van Dam start speaking Punjabi? Like,
I do still think it's hilarious that he's just like blatantly like advertising himself with the RVD rolling papers.
No discreetness to it at all.
Nope.
Go chill down with some RVD rolling papers.
Oh my god. Like, it was so funny. Oh my god. I was like, thank you, RVD, for saving this promo.
Right?
It was going nowhere.
Rob Van Dam.
Yes. And Matt Riddle, like I said, just annoys me. I was like, just go away. Just stop trying to be Bill and Ted and just go away.
Right? The only part of the next match that I was even remotely interested, now mind you, the next match of the night is the United States Championship match. Sheamus taking on the United States Champion Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
The only part of this that I thought was even kind of cool was that Riddle got to ride a really long fucking ramp. Because that was kind of cool. I was like, okay, yeah, he's got the fucking scooter, and he scooted down the entire ramp. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
That's true.
I want to see the Undertaker do it. Full gear.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a point that I thought was pretty funny. Riddle almost couldn't get Sheamus up for like a suplex.
Yes.
Or whatever he was doing there. I was like, geez, dude. Do you even lift? I was like, seriously, man. Yeah, it's about it. I was like, I mean, I know that he's like a skinny dude, but I've seen dudes his size pick up dudes Sheamus' size without that kind of problem.
Yeah,
like,
it also looked like he was really gassed.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, for a dude who rides a scooter to the ring, you should not be that blown up.
I know. He really shouldn't. I didn't know that Riddle did the whisper in the wind.
Yeah, not really a
did
fan
it.
of that.
I was like, really? Okay.
I will say this. Riddle has an MMA background.
Yeah.
The fact that they do not utilize that more with his character.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they easily could.
Be Brock Lesnar, but be Brock Lesnar.
So, okay.
Man.
But okay, here's the thing. Riddle could be WWE's version of Orange Cassidy. He comes in, he's the hey guy, but then when he needs to, boom, he just locks in. You know what I mean? Like, they could easily do that gimmick.
Love that you threw a little Cal in there. Hey guy.
Hey guy.
I will say that I really, really, really fucking hate Matt Riddle. But he really gave it his go to do his best in this match.
He did. But here's the thing. I dislike Matt Riddle so much that I love Sheamus because of what happened at the end.
There's one moment I felt really bad for Sheamus for, though.
Yeah.
He went for the white noise off the top rope.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, man. I'm surprised he landed on his feet and didn't just completely just fall face plant into the ground or something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was, because he went for it and I was like, oh yeah.
I'm assuming it was wet or something.
Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Because we saw stuff like that happen a few times throughout both nights. People slipping on the ropes.
Yeah.
That could have been really bad for both of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Luckily it wasn't, and he turned it around though. You know what I mean? He made the best out of it, which hey, he's a professional.
And then Matt Riddle turned around into a fucking brogue kick.
Yeah.
Which,
real quick. Sheamus did a move, the Alabama Slam.
Yep.
Does he do this? Is this a thing that
this is part of his prerequisites?
Why do they not call it something like the Dublin Slam? Come on.
Yeah, I've thought that a couple times when he does it.
It's sitting right there.
Yep.
Like, why would the Irish guy do the Alabama Slam?
Yep.
Give it a different name.
The pub crawl.
Something. You know?
Like
the Shillelagh Slam. Something.
That one's a little...
I like Dublin Slam because at least it takes a place. Which is like
true.
it just replaces Alabama. The Dublin Slam.
I will say this.
Come on.
Did you notice though when he hit the brogue kick? I think it was
the one at the end. You talk about the one at the end.
The final one before he hits the pin. He hits it as hard as he fucking could. And commentary goes, the brogue kick. Because he hits it on their bro.
Yeah.
And I was like...
I didn't catch them say it that way, no. But that is funny.
Like, he hit the brogue kick.
Dude, he blasts Matt Riddle in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And
Matt Riddle was legit bleeding.
But, and not just a little, he was bleeding, pouring blood out of his fucking mouth.
He kicked him right in the fucking mouth.
I wouldn't be shocked if he broke some teeth. I really wouldn't.
I couldn't see broken teeth from the way he was there, but, yeah.
He fucked him up.
Smelling,
his mouth was fucked up looking. It was so bad.
If you can't tell by the way we're talking about it, Sheamus won the match.
No, man, after that, Riddle got right up and bam, took the whole thing down.
Which brings us to our next match. And this one kind of upset me a little bit. Because there was no talks about what this match was going to be. It was just announced. The Big E would be defending his Intercontinental Championship against the new Nigerian himself, Apollo Crews, in a Nigerian drum fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is a Nigerian drum fight?
It's and essentially,
all it is a fucking hardcore match, a street fight.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
And I was
it's like a no holds barred, any of those types of things. Just no rules.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was a little taken back by the fact that it was This match, though, started
a lot of
out,
kendo sticks, man.
Yeah.
A lot of kendo
That's what I was going to say. This match started out with a lot of caning. Yeah. Like, it's a good thing they were both black, because if that was a white man hitting a black man like that with a cane, it'd be a fucking racist crime.
There was a lot going on, man.
Dude, there was a lot. It reminded me, do you remember when Bret Hart fought Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, and he proceeded to hit him like 20 times with a steel chair?
Yes, I do.
This is what I saw.
It was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
The steel chair thing.
Now, this match is what I was talking about when we were talking about the match from night one. Right? Was that when it happened?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, but there was some really good stuff in this match, I thought.
Yeah. Because we were talking about the almost thing. And we were saying almost. Okay. So, Apollo Crews gets outside interference.
Oh, yeah.
He gets the guy runs in at the end and helps him.
Yeah. You know who that is, right?
Yeah. It's well, I don't know what his new name is, but it's the guy from Underground. But they play it off.
I looked it up because I was like, I know this guy, but I can't place him. So I had to look it up. It's Dabakato, who, he had a little feud with Braun Strowman, did stuff in Raw Underground. He's now going by Commander Aziz.
Yes. But the thing that bugs me is they acted like nobody had ever seen this guy before.
Yeah.
Even though he'd been on Raw a few times.
It's like, no offense, but you can't forget a guy that like that.
That is what so that I told you I was the internet. That is exactly what the internet is fucking blowing up about.
Really?
They're playing off that nobody's ever seen this guy before. He could have easily been Commander Aziz. Yeah. Formerly be like he denounced his American ship and he re-sided with Apollo Crews. Yeah. He's now Commander whatever Aziz, formerly known as Dabakato, though, but he realized he was never going to get anywhere in the WWE if he didn't step up and take his rightful place.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Dynasty wants to offer services to him because he's one of the biggest dudes in the company. Mm-hmm. But all these fans are like, but no, WWE wants to act like we're stupid and don't remember him from like the 3 months he was on television on Underground.
Which happened within the last year.
Yeah.
It's not like it was 5 years ago.
Nope.
It happened during since quarantine.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing.
And that's what a lot of people are pissed off about. And I completely understand it.
Oh yeah, I get that.
And that's all I really wanted to. I don't have notes on this match. I didn't like this match.
There was a pretty sick diving spear to the outside from Big E.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it looked pretty fucking awesome. Apollo Crews did some good stuff in this match too. I don't like the accent.
Nope.
I can't I was like, he never had this accent before, right? I even went back and looked at old NXT footage and stuff from after when he came into the WWE, got brought up, and I was like, nope, he talks like a normal person, he has a normal type of American accent or whatever.
Yep.
And I was like, this is just weird. It's like the reverse Kofi Kingston.
Yes.
And
I'm bugging me about it. You want to do the whole Nigerian angle, that's fine. I know plenty of people from different places that don't have accents. Yeah. All you're doing is making his gimmick kind of racist.
Yeah, it feels I'll be honest, it almost feels like they're trying to play off of Black Panther kind of mentality, that's the accent. He's got that kind of accent.
Yeah.
And which makes sense because it's, African nation. I get it. But I don't know. It feels because what's the point? I don't understand the point of changing his gimmick like this.
I didn't understand the change in the gimmick, and I still don't. But the thing that I'm laughing because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, when you're black and you're a little boy, you had Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan to look up to. Everybody wanted to be like Mike, but you're right though. Black Panther is so recent and so powerful. That, totally.
And Chadwick Boseman just recently, passed away.
Yeah,
it wasn't that long ago.
I was thinking maybe he's trying to use this as his a tryout.
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh,
like
this is my
this is
Panther
his
cut.
audition. It's all his audition for Black Panther 2.
However,
I mean, hey, you never know. You never know.
if anybody listening to this follows Apollo Crews on Twitter, ask him if he can get the Nigerian prince to stop emailing me now, because that'd be great.
Yeah, it would be great. Speaking of Apollo, he did frog splash through an empty table.
He did,
and it was pretty sick, man. Taking that kind of bump, I was like, bravo.
I mean, like I said, I was out of this match after all the caning and everything, and then the fucking he hits the big frog splash, bites it, fucking Big E hits his move, and then out of nowhere gets blindsided by fucking big dude in a military jacket.
Yeah, like, I get it.
Here we go, a new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, it's I'm still debating between this one and the last one, which is my worst match. So that's a little spoiler for all the fans out there.
Fair enough.
So, because I didn't really care for either of them.
That's fair.
I don't know, and that's a bummer because they were 2 in a row. You know what I mean? It's come on, man. But yeah. So then we get the Hall of Fame 2021.
Yep.
Yeah. RVD, Molly Holly, the Great Khali, Ozzy Osbourne, Eric Bischoff, Rich Herring for the Warrior Award, and Kane. So John, any thoughts on this year's Hall of Fame inductees?
Like I said, man, I'm really glad to see Eric Bischoff, RVD. I know you're really excited for Kane to be in there.
Hell's yeah, man. Hell's yeah.
Was really shocked to see Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of like, oh, Ozzy. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they always do a celebrity. He had William Shatner for last year.
Involvement in the company at all.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I'll be honest. I'm glad that they show clips because I wouldn't have remembered either.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm really glad for this Hall of Fame, and I'm really glad that the NWO and Eric Bischoff went in back to back.
Yeah.
Because even though he wasn't inducted with the Hall of Fame, Eric Bischoff, in my mind, rightfully should have been with the NWO.
Yeah.
But I understand why they didn't.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool because they wound up on the same WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Even though they were in different classes, they wound up being inducted the same year, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So next up, the WWE Women's Championship match. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. All right, John, what did you think of this match?
I'm going to say this again, and I feel bad that this is one of my big notes. This match went way slower than I expected it to.
Yeah, I get that. I
expected Asuka to fight.
Yeah.
But I understand Rhea Ripley is not – she's not Kairi Sane. She's not Bayley, and she's not Sasha Banks. Rhea Ripley is a tower of a fucking woman who is a powerful and dominant force. And that was shown in this match.
You want to know what I liked about the two of them fighting one another? Rhea Ripley brought out a ferocity from Asuka that I feel like we don't see that often.
They made a comment about that during commentary. They said, there is a side of Asuka tonight that they hadn't seen in a while. And yes, I agree. And I thought that this match was actually really great. Both women looked really strong. Mm-hmm. And honestly,
they were demolishing one another. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah. I wasn't sure who was going to win, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Man, it was crazy. What I like, both of these women have good power moves.
Yeah.
And good submission moves. They're both really well-rounded, and it made for a damn good match between the two of them.
I'm really sad.
I do agree it was a little slower paced than I thought it would be or that I wanted it to be, but they still rocked it out, man.
I'm really sad though. We're living in the time of COVID because I would have loved to have seen the Mist come to play in this match.
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. These two women, I think, are probably my two top women wrestlers right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Asuka has been like one of my favorites for a while. And Rhea Ripley, ever since I saw her last year at WrestleMania when she fought Charlotte, like I was impressed then, and ever since it's just grown. Yeah.
I respect that because I mean Rhea Ripley, she's worked her ass off to get to where she is.
Yeah.
Obviously Rhea Ripley picks up the win. New WWE champion, women's champ, which
after a hell of a battle.
Deserving.
Oh yeah.
Rightfully deserving. Yes. One hell of a match.
Yeah.
I didn't think that she wasn't like gonna not win it, but I was very shocked the way she pulled it out.
Yeah.
The Riptide.
The Riptide. It was sick, man. It was like, oh shit.
I know this isn't a match, but this was my favorite moment of the fucking night that happens next.
Ooh, okay.
Bayley comes out and interrupts Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil, who are just trying to entertain the crowd and talking about how great WrestleMania has been. And out comes Bayley talking about how tired she is, that she hasn't had shit to do the entire weekend. And
except get new glasses, because there's another new pair of glasses.
And she points out that the Hall of Fame is just a bunch of old people that nobody cares about. And who comes out to shut her up but the Bella twins?
Mm-hmm.
And they come out, and before they even have a chance to say anything, Bayley goes, hello, John Cena's not here. And Nikki smacks that mic out of her hand.
Oh my God, it was the fucking best.
And Bree goes, ding dong, shut up.
Yeah,
and
it was the best. I loved that moment. It was so good.
That moment, especially when, like, I don't know if she told her what she was going to say or not, but the moment that Bayley goes, Cena's not here, Nikki's face is just like, and I was like, oh.
Part of me hopes she's like, listen, I'm going to say something. It may piss you off. I want you to slap me when I say it.
I mean,
but I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to say because I want it to be real.
I mean, it obviously is opening the door. The Bella twins are going to come back. At least they're going to come back.
At the Hall of Fame ceremony, the crowd was chanting one more match.
Oh yeah,
during them. So I'd love to see that. I would.
I have, and I'm going to bring this up when we start talking about the next match. But I have a feeling that I know something that's going to happen, and I'm hoping that it's going to happen the way I think it will.
Okay.
So the Universal Championship match was the main event. It's the match we're about to talk about, so I'm gonna bring it up now. It was Daniel Bryan taking on Edge, taking on the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, who came out accompanied by Jey Uso and Paul Heyman. And I noticed something, and I don't know if you noticed this. Did you see what Edge was wearing at WrestleMania?
The white gear, the white and
all
red gear.
White gear.
Yeah.
White gear is the hardest gear. It is definitely WrestleMania gear. Not a lot of people wear white usually. Go back to the opening match though. What color did Randy Orton wear?
Oh, was he wearing white? I don't even think I thought about it.
Gear, Josh.
I don't even think I thought about it, to be totally honest with you.
Nobody has put two and two together. Huh. Randy Orton does not wear white.
Yeah.
But Orton wore white at Mania.
Huh.
Edge wore white at Mania. I think we're going to see Rated RKO get back together.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Just saying. You're hearing it here first. That is prediction.
Was it red and white by any chance?
Yes, it was.
Okay, man. Dude, I like that. And I hope that's true.
I know they were teasing it a little bit back at the Royal Rumble and stuff like that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Dude,
I want it.
Oh, man. They were so good together.
Now,
so good.
Do you want to talk about this match first?
Yeah, I'll start off a little bit. I I thought it was nice to see Bray back in the main event for Mania. That was good. I've kind of missed him, personally. There was a while where he wasn't on pay-per-views at all.
No.
And then he'd be in like the pre-show, and I don't know if I didn't watch Fastlane. I don't actually know if he was in Fastlane at all.
He was in the main event.
Oh, okay.
It was him versus Roman for the championship.
But before that, he was not anywhere around it other than like a pre-show. So it was nice to see him back around. I noticed something that I thought was interesting. A nice dichotomy between Roman and Jay. You got Roman coming out. He's stoic. He's silent. He's still. But then you got Jey Uso, who doesn't seem like he can stay still at all.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
He's talking. He's moving. Even when they're just standing there, he's swaying back and forth.
Yep.
Even if it's just a little bit. He never stops moving. I thought it was really interesting.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, it was a little distracting at times. Because, like, the camera would be kind of close in on Roman, and then, like, you randomly see Jacob pop into the frame and then pop out of the frame, pop into the frame and pop out of the frame. It was really funny. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? I was like, what is he doing? But yeah, right away, this match just kind of gets wild. It just kind of goes all over the place. Jey Uso taking out both Edge and Bray, which I thought was cool. He really got a little bit of a time to shine. I was like, all right, if Jay's going to be there, you might as well get some use out of him,
The thing that really pissed me off about that, though, I get it. It's a triple threat. There is no disqualifications.
Yeah.
They didn't even make it to the 2-minute mark.
Yeah.
Inside this match, though, before Jey Uso intervened.
That's happened a lot in Roman's matches lately.
I know, but I mean, the fact that, this is a main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And they waited no longer than 2 minutes to have Roman get, like, assistance.
However, Edge did drive Jay's head right into the stairs.
Dude, execution.
Dude,
I was like, holy shit.
And he had to be taken to the back.
However, do you know what went through my head when he did that move?
What?
Something you pointed out last year. Do you remember what he wrestled last year? Mania?
Was that I don't know what they called it, but was that the one with him and Orton? They were going all over.
That was the one with him and Orton.
And they all over the stadium.
Do you remember his tweet that he posted?
Yeah.
I won't do anything stupid or crazy because he wants to do longevity.
Yeah.
He's going to do a DDT style move onto a set of steel steps and jerk his fucking neck.
Yeah.
And as soon as he hit that move, I was like, oh God. Beth Phoenix is sitting somewhere right now having a card.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I hadn't thought about it that way, but yeah, no, absolutely.
This is the shit that goes through my head when I watch wrestling. I'm thinking of all the small shit where, like, because it happened later on in the match too. He hit that spear on Roman, and instantly I was like, oh yeah, no, spear somebody on the outside of the ring and hurt your neck again, like you did when you hit Brodus Clay and had to retire. Tell me how that fucking works out for you.
True. So there was one thing I wanted to kind of point out. I had mentioned something like this earlier about how when it was the Thunderdome, they could control what was, what you heard.
Yes.
And we got some pretty loud Roman sucks chants to hear. And Roman was like responding to them. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, we haven't seen that in almost a year.
Nope.
Because there hasn't been a crowd.
Nope.
And they
can control it.
Yeah, they're not gonna do Roman sucks chants because that's not what they want to hear.
Nope.
I
thought it was really funny because there was a set of them specifically coming from right behind commentary.
Yeah.
And when they would be like near that side of the ring and like that camera was active, you could really hear it a lot clearer.
Oh yeah.
And you're right, because when he was doing the him and Daniel Bryan and it was the announce table spot, he stopped and he's like,
and you could tell he was pissed, but it worked because he's the heel. So that actually works for him.
But at the same time, he plays it off so like he's supposed to be the heel, but in his mind, he's not the heel. He's the fucking savior.
Yeah.
Like, in his mind, he can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
Now,
I get it.
A couple of my major notes that I have for this match is, though, they did a really great job at allowing this match to be more Daniel Bryan and Edge.
Yeah.
They really fucked Roman in the ass with a hot poker because every time you turn around, one of the two of them was taking Roman out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, Roman looks really weak in this match.
Yeah.
And when Jey Uso comes back at the end of the match and starts to intervene again, I was like, there goes all validity he had of being a fucking strong worker. Yeah. Because Roman was starting to get his own head of steam back up. I was like, okay, he's got it. And then boom, Edge hits the spear. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Edge is going to win the title. And then no. But the one other moment I thought was really cool was when Edge locked in a banned move. A move.
Yes, I have it in my notes here.
Yeah. He locks in the crippler crossface.
Yep. And it's funny because they don't obviously call it that. They just call it a crossface. But I wrote it right here in my notes, crippler crossface. And then he used a piece of a broken chair.
Yeah. Which I thought was actually really cool. Because even Roman's like,
it's funny because it's not like that was meant to happen. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that's supposed to be a thing that's going to be there. The chair just happened to break. It was within arm reach. So he's like, I'm going to use this.
Yeah.
And so he just uses it.
I'm not going to lie. I got a little teary-eyed when he locked on the crossface.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, oh man, that's awesome.
Like, I know him and Benoit were friends. And yes, I know Daniel Bryan does the LeBell lock, and it's very similar.
Yeah, but it is different. It is different.
It is. And then I love that Daniel Bryan got in there and locked the yes lock on the other side.
Yeah.
And for just a small moment in time, I felt bad for Roman Reigns.
I know. I think I wrote that down here too. Yeah, I was like, poor Roman. And then I put ha ha ha. But
well, no. Yeah. My legitimacy towards it was Daniel Bryan reaches over and starts punching Edge.
Yeah.
Both of them still had his fucking arms locked. And his shoulders are wrenched. And they're fucking throwing punches.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, poor Roman.
I love they're like, you let go. No, you let go.
Yeah. Kind of remind me of a certain pelvic thrust back and forth.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
So then, like I said, Jey Uso gets back involved. Edge gets put on top of Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns gets the 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns retains the Universal Championship to keep his head of the table spot.
Yeah.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is night 2 of WrestleMania.
I don't remember if you mentioned this. What did you think of all the concerto stuff?
Dude, I loved that we got to see concertos again. Yeah. It was very sad that we got to see Edge take one.
Yeah, man.
But
I love that he goes in there to do essentially like a double concerto. Doesn't actually get to do the second one, which is sad.
That's when Jay gets re-involved.
Yeah.
Dick.
And I gotta say this: Roman does not pull off a concerto the way Edge can do it. It just didn't look. It just didn't look as good.
No,
I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know what. Yeah, so I don't know. You just didn't think it was quite as good.
Well, we are at that point again, sir, where we should talk about some basics here.
Yes.
Let's do this in a different order though this time.
Okay.
What is your moment of the night?
All right. My moment of the night. I think I am going to give it to the Fiend's entrance.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
The whole thing. Him coming out, the box, everything.
I thought it was a great moment.
I thought it was so fantastic.
I'm not going to lie. I'm jealous. I didn't think to give it to that.
Feel free to change your mind, but I want to hear what you did originally pick.
No, I gave my moment of the night to a well-deserved placed moment.
Okay.
John Cena's not here.
It's good, man. It is like when you talked about it, I was like, that is a damn good moment.
Because I'm not gonna lie, that moment I almost fell off my couch. I was laughing so hard at the fact that she legit like, hey, John Cena's not here, and I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, okay,
John Cena's not here. Oh man.
What do you got for MVP?
MVP of the night. See, I don't think as many people stuck out during this day that did on the first night. I think, you know what? I'm gonna go a little different here.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Bayley.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna pick Bayley.
Wow.
That's you know, she really got herself in there, and that moment that you mentioned, and then the beatdown that she took after. I got it. You know what? I'm gonna give it to her. I'm just doing it.
Fair enough. You know who I picked?
Who'd you pick?
I'm gonna shock you with this one. Shayna Baszler.
All right.
Her work in that tag team match, like you said, really showed she can step it up and be a professional wrestler.
Yes.
Not to mention, she busted her ass carrying the weight of that match. And
it's true.
Nia looks stupid with all the little jewels all over her face.
Yeah, it's true too.
But Shayna Baszler really fucking worked her ass off to try and make herself look legit.
Oh,
the work she did, like you said, where she stomped fucking Natty's ankle and shit, I cringed.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I was legit like, oh my fucking God. Like, don't do it again. Like, so that's my pick for MVP.
Okay. What is your worst match of the night?
Probably going to get in a lot of shit for saying this. The Nigerian drum fight.
Okay.
I hated the Intercontinental title match.
Yeah.
Like, it was, in my personal opinion, it was a waste of 10 minutes.
It was my second least favorite, if that, counts for anything.
I'm going to assume you picked the United States Championship match.
I did, yes. That
match had enough saving grace in it with between Matt Riddle at least trying and that brogue kick at the end. Like, between, like that shit really, at least. But, like, there had never been a Nigerian drum fight before, so I had no idea what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Besides Apollo Crews being thrown through a drum, there was no actual use of drums in that match.
I hadn't thought about it. Well, shit. That might change my mind a little bit then, because I honestly they hadn't even like crossed my mind as a thing.
Yeah,
but you know what? Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm switching mine. Yeah,
I'm just saying. I mean, if you're gonna have a Nigerian drum fight, at least at one point in the match, I don't care if it's in the beginning. I don't care if it's after the match has ended. I don't care if they're in the middle of a fucking chop battle and some dude goes, whoa, hold on, and starts doing the African American.
Yeah, a little drumming. Yeah. What is that from?
Oh, that's from Get Him to the Greek.
That's what it's from.
I just made the African face and played the drum.
Oh man, I love that movie. But yeah, you know what? You sold me. Yeah. The drum thing. I hadn't thought about it. But yeah, if you're gonna call this thing a Nigerian drum fight, then you better actually use the drums.
Thank you.
And not just like, okay, you get tossed into one drum and try to use a gong, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's your best match of the night?
Well, hold on, because I'm going to try to predict your pick of the match.
Okay.
I'm going to try to predict yours first. I think, personally, out of, the match contest for the night, You picked the Raw Women's Championship match.
Yes, that's what I picked. I was very close to picking Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Really?
Yeah. I was very close to picking that.
I'm very predictable. If you think about it.
Main event?
Nope.
Really? Oh, okay. Then you're talking about Orton. Okay, see, it was too short for me to make it to that. For me, that's just my own opinion.
Well, so see, I'm wavier on switching my thing like you do.
Yeah.
I wrote down that this match had it for me because one, I loved how Orton, like you said, he came out and he was disgruntled. Whether it be the weather or part of the gimmick, he was mumbling to himself about something. Oh, yeah. I also saw something from Orton that I thought was really cool at the beginning of the match, and it's small things that stick out to me above and beyond big things. Randy Orton wiped his feet off when he got to the ring. Mm-hmm. He walked down a dirty ramp. He wiped his feet off. Respect for the ring. That is a huge thing in my book. And then two, the Fiend had an amazing fucking entrance.
It's true. I mean, it's my moment of the night.
Exactly. He re-emerged. He came up out of the fucking Jack in the Box. He got into it with the crowd. He's like, come on, I'm here. He jumped off into Orton. Yes, the match was a little short, but it told the story it needed to tell. Yeah. Not only did it solidify that maybe this feud is over with Randy Orton, but now we're going to get a whole nother level with what the fuck is going on with Alexa Bliss. It's true. And I mean, I totally get why that would be your pick. I just personally wanted just a little bit more. I will say this. The main event would have been my choice for match of the night if Roman Reigns would have stood on his own a little bit more and didn't have Jay helping out so much, or had the ending not been so controversially done. Yeah. Okay. Because I understand the angle they're pushing now where all the fans are like, well, Edge was on top of D-Bry and, he technically had a pin. And I'm like, I get it. It's true. It's true. I know that they're probably still because technically Edge was on D-Bry longer than Roman had them pinned. So the count should have started for Edge technically. Even if it was going to be both guys have their shoulders down, yes. Yeah. Because we've seen that happen in championship matches before where both guys have had their shoulders down and they just, whatever. And then it becomes a controversy. Yeah. So that's my pick, though. I almost picked the main event, but it was just too much of Roman being a bitch. You know what? I think that's a solid pick. I really do. Because in general, it was a damn good match. What we got from it was fantastic. I just wanted more, and maybe that's just my own bias about it. I just wanted more. Now, before we wrap completely and we say goodnight to the fans, I would like to take this moment to say this has been a great year. Yes. I have been very happy being back. Yes. And with that being said, I'm going to I want to tell them what we've been talking about behind the scenes. Okay, go for it. Off the ropes, we are going to reformat a little bit and stop doing so much reviewing and start doing some other content. Like some more conversational content. We're going to start kind of branching it out a little bit. AEW will get involved more. Impact will get involved more. Maybe some Ring of Honor if I can find a place to watch it. But we realized that doing the reviews, we're kind of burning ourselves out because, you got to find time to watch it. And then you got to find time to talk about it. And we got to find time to and taking notes while watching makes it hard to fully enjoy it. Yes. You know what I mean? Plus there's not every match on the card is something I want to watch. Yeah. Like Wrestlemania. We'll still talk about, I still want to talk about all the pay-per-views that we watch. Even if it's just, we take 10 minutes to just give our quick thoughts, maybe a couple highlights here and there. Yeah. Like I'm fine with that. But we'll definitely do the main four. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, we definitely talked about still doing the main four. And I think that in itself is good.
For those of you who don't know what the main four are, it's Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and of course, WrestleMania.
Elimination Chamber.
WrestleMania Backlash.
But at the same time, I mean, we're still going to give you guys content. We're still going to record. Yeah. I mean, it might just be me and Josh for a couple weeks just in front of the camera talking about things that are happening. There's a lot of shit going on in wrestling right now that we're both excited for.
Yeah.
One of the main things is one of the guys that we've known for almost like 15 years is now working with AEW.
It's true. Well, we got two guys that we know working for AEW now.
True.
With Nick joining as well. Yeah. But yeah, big time Bill Collier, man. I've loved what I've seen so far. I'm excited to see what they really do with him. So
yeah. So we've got a lot of things we've been talking about off the camera. I thought it'd be kind of cool to give you guys a kind of a nugget of that.
Yeah, you know what, like John said, 1 week we might just be talking about what's going on in the world of wrestling. 1 week we might do like a top 10 list. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. I've been watching a lot of older wrestling over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I've been burnt out on the current product. I was like, fuck it. I wanted to kind of go back. I went back and watched the 1991 Royal Rumble the other day.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you, watching that was just like a highlight reel. Macho Man and freaking Ultimate Warrior was in there. Or not a Warrior. Warrior wasn't in there. But Jake the Snake, Hogan was in there. Taker was in there. I'm like, Kerry Von Erich was in there.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of opportunities for us to do different things. Even with breaking kayfabe, obviously we want to keep talking about news. But I think
definitely stick.
I think I want to shorten it down, kind of tighten it up, maybe pick, 5 to 8 stories at the most and just talk about those when we do it.
I mean, one of the things we definitely enjoy, we enjoy talking wrestling.
Yeah.
But when we're doing big reviews like Mania, here we are like 2.5 hours into a record session. And I mean, we did a review of 2 nights.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other shit that happened in the world of professional wrestling. James Storm wrestled his 1,000th match in Impact history. That was a huge moment for James Storm.
That's wild, man. I know that you talked a few times about one specific moment that happened at the NXT takeovers that went down.
Oh, Io Shirai jumping off the top of the skull.
Yeah. We didn't even talk. Like, there was an entire week's worth of WrestleMania week stuff.
Yeah.
That we just didn't have the time to cover, unfortunately.
And that's the thing. Like, I love people who can podcast as their job. People who have nothing to do but podcasts. But Josh has a life. I have a life.
Trust me, if I could do this and get paid and not have to worry about anything else, and this would be like my primary doing this kind of stuff, that would be the dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love to live that dream with you, man.
Yeah, man. All the way.
I mean, if I could make off the ropes my job, like travel for wrestling and stuff, and sit down with people and try to get interviews and talk wrestling all the day long, it'd be a dream. That would definitely be my dream.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that.
No, it does not, unfortunately.
But I'm glad to give you guys that tidbit of a nugget.
Yeah.
Josh, where can people find you when they're not watching us or listening to us on the podcast?
You can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR. Or right down there at Movie Blog Merc. That is the Twitter page for my site, Merc with Movie Blog. Also, check me out on DC Comics News. It's at DC Comics News on all the social medias if you're into DC Comics and all that good stuff. John, what about you?
Well, I'm still available on Facebook because that's what I do. I am also on Twitter at Simply Sane J1. It is where I also talk about, I haven't actually talked about my podcast in a while, but I have my own podcast. It's called Simply Sane with Jay, the Not Your Mom podcast.
Got to get an episode out, man. I'm excited. I want to hear it.
It's funny that you would say that because I tried to record an episode the other day, and while recording, I had a mental breakdown and ended up just deleting the entire episode.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Dude, I couldn't. I got like 90% through it and then just lost everything I had because I couldn't keep my emotions under wrap anymore and ended up just having a mental breakdown. And was just like, fuck it. I can't. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I am working on another podcast episode. I have an idea of exactly where I want it to go. I just need to not break down while I'm doing it.
I mean, heck, if anything, we'll just edit that part out.
Yes. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll have another episode up probably within the next week. I'm trying for sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, John. I'm looking forward to it. And you can always check us out on the Twitters at Off the Ropes JJ, as you can see right down there at the bottom, Off the Ropes JJ. That is our handle on all of the social medias that we are on. We are on.
That's our handle on all social media.
Everything. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Here on YouTube, if you're watching us on video, Anchor, Patreon. It's all Off the Ropes JJ. So be sure to check us out. There's our Patreon right there. Patreon.
If you're watching this, I learned this one from my son this week. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't already, don't forget to click the subscribe button up here, and give us a like down below.
Yes, and hit that little bell. It'll give you a notification anytime we drop a new video.
Oh man,
yes.
Yeah, my kid is recording YouTube videos in his mind. There's no actual cameras on him, but he's recording stuff.
My kid records them on her phone or iPad, but she doesn't post them anywhere. They're just on her iPad.
Fair.
Yeah, all the time. Kids, man, they're hilarious.
When I was a kid, I was running around with a relish lid trying to morph like a Power Ranger. And here my kid is reenacting Jurassic Park and Godzilla versus King Kong.
Oh, that's funny. I love it.
Which part?
All of it. I love it all.
Me trying to morph with a pickle jar?
Yeah, man. All of it.
Dude, when I was a kid, so badly I wanted to be Tommy Oliver. I purposely went and got a gold container.
Well, then why didn't you have an olive jar lid? No?
Because it wasn't gold like his morpher. Everybody else had silver morphers. Tommy had a gold one.
Fair enough. You could have painted.
Pull that lid out of my pocket. I would go, it's morpher time! Dragon Sword!
Pickle Zord. Bam.
Dude, it smells like pickles.
It smells like pickles. And on that note, this has been episode 27 of Off the Ropes with John and Josh. I am Josh.
I'm John.
And we are down for the count. Catch you guys next time.
Love beef chicken.